Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
Everybody's applauding. Death of a president. Yay!
Garrett's back.
Hey,
Wait, there he is.
Yeah.
Came
I
back.
didn't make him edit a video today. So
Hey,
that'll be
All right.
Thankfully,
tomorrow.
good.
JFK docs, bro. They all came out. We found out who did it, right?
80,000 pages.
we got the truth. It's settled. The science is settled on that one, guys.
We did it.
Everybody's in agreement with what happened.
Yes.
And nobody cares.
And no,
And the opinion didn't change.
and I just want to make it
Wow.
clear, like, it's not like we don't care in the way that Ben Shapiro doesn't care. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to make that clear.
No, it's huge. I mean, whoever did do it, I think we know, assassinated a sitting president of the United States. That is huge. And the problem, I think, is that the people are dead, obviously, that this was a long time ago, but I don't think that they would have left their power to just die and go away. No, they passed it on. They continue. The entity that they were embodying is still out there. It still exists, whether it's the CIA, whether it's certain countries, whatever it may be. So the threat is still there. I think that's what happened in Butler. I think that they tried to take Trump out. I don't think it was that Thomas Crook's kid that was a shitty shot anyway. They were trying to shoot him in the head. They were trying to make a message. They were trying to take Trump out. Look at what Trump's doing.
I think a lot
of people at the top's money.
A lot of the same methods happened with Butler as well. Like I don't necessarily believe it was like he was like Crooks was the guy that was trained by CIA to shoot. I think a lot of doors were just like Jan 6 left open.
Right.
A lot of things were just kind of, not
Let me give you a little
looked at,
nudge.
Just a little nudge. Somebody talk to somebody else that got that person in the position that they are. Nobody is on top of the roof. Stuff like that, I think, is what happened with
That's a good point.
JFK.
Well, you'd see the video that the Secret Service agents that were running beside JFK's car just stop running.
Just
stop running. We're all going to stop running. We're supposed to be running alongside of him.
Yeah.
To be like, some extra protection. Oh, no. And then the car turns and then boom, he gets shot.
Yeah.
Similarities.
So have you guys have gone over some of the documents? I watched Adam, you did. I watched a few videos kind of analyzing different aspects of it. Obviously not the entire thing because it's 80,000 documents. It's a whole lot. It's going to be a long time. Yeah, it's going to be a long time before we get an actual analysis of all these documents. But from what I've seen so far, some of the different CIA operations that are included in here, it basically reads to me like, we're not saying it's the CIA, but here's a bunch of operations that the CIA did that show you the methods that they will do that you could possibly, if you want to, extrapolate.
It was like Oppenheimer. I liked Oppenheimer. Okay, but the whole movie was like, he's not a communist. He just hangs out with them, fucks them,
right.
Socializes with them, has deep confides in them, but he's not a communist.
Exactly. It's all of the these are the hallmarks of what you would do if you were going to assassinate a president. Here are some other things that they did. So that's kind of what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah.
Which is like what we already knew. We already knew this before.
That's where the
we know
soft
now.
communist. That's a very good way to put it. It was soft communist.
Oh,
Called a socialist, but same thing. No, you're right. The reason it's met with such apathy is there is no trust in our government, particularly after COVID. But like there wasn't with me before, but there's so much. There's a very healthy mistrust of our government around the nation, which I think is great. And it was a long time ago. It was, and plus all the theories that have been out there, a lot of the people who are interested in this stuff have gone over them ad infinitum. And so like when you hear stuff like, oh, the CIA was involved, we go, yeah. Yep. So some fine person in the chat, we love everybody here. Okay. Not that we all agree, said Oswald did it alone and everything else is a bunch of bollocks. For one, you're using a UK term. This is American subject. All right.
It's America. All right.
I'm going to say bullshit.
Yeah. Acted alone my ass.
Well, I would like to say, like, where's your proof? Do you have proof of this? You think everything else is bollocks? How do you know?
If you're saying he was the lone gunman, so even if like he was able to make say Magneto wasn't there and he was able to make a bullet make a U-turn. Remember, right. Magneto was blamed for the assassination of Kennedy.
Oh yeah. The magic bullet
Days
theory.
of Future Past. But he said he was trying to save him. Okay. He was trying to save him because Kennedy was a mutant. Remember that.
Yeah. I forgot about that movie.
That's right. And we all know it was the smoking man, but let's just like put the smoking man aside real quick. Even if he was able to make that bullet make a U-turn, he wasn't alone. He was a CIA asset. He traveled to Russia. Well, this is all stuff that's known. If you watched fucking JFK, Oliver Stone's JFK, this is all stuff you knew already. Yeah. Or watched any of the 5,000 documentaries there are.
I'm sure there's going to be even more now.
If that's the case, then all of a sudden, okay, I could understand people having more trust in the press and the government 20 years ago. But let's just say we've gone on a journey together. A lot of us who are still here, we're grateful we're still alive. Where we are now, do we believe any of these happy accidents that happened around this assassination?
No, of course not.
No way.
Just whoopsie doopsies everywhere. Like, no, of course not. Hell no. So a lot of people wanted to take him out. And I don't think these documents disprove any of it. For one, they're the these are the people who took them out. So these are the people who made the documents are the ones who took them out.
Yeah. Where are the documents that weren't included? That's my where are the extra documents? I'm sure like you redact the entire thing.
There are no for operations like this, there are no documents.
Correct.
There never were ever. Nobody wrote down on a piece. There was a secretary. There wasn't like Jan at CIA going, okay, this president was assassinated. It was Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Yep.
And
George Bush Sr. was there to make sure that he was in position. Now, before all this stuff came out, I already thought it was the CIA because the JFK, he came out saying weeks beforehand that he wanted to shred the CIA into the wind, right? Into pieces, whatnot. And I came out of this after all, even today, like today I dove. I've been paying attention to it throughout the entire exposing of it, but today I kind of like went deep into it just to like be prepared for today. And I believe it more than ever now. It feels like we saw through the files that were released the blueprints of what they needed to do to have this happen to him. But every single thing that would have been showing them doing this as an operation was gone and was omitted as if it was just deleted. But it showed them the lengths that they would go to. Well, for Cuba, for example, right? How much they were trying to just destroy Cuba and end the communist threat, and they were going to poison crops. Like they were going to go anything. They would go that far to kill innocent people to just like end the perceived threat of what Cuba was. And it's like, that's crazy that they're willing to go to that length to protect themselves. Of course they would kill a sitting president. Doesn't surprise
Especially when
me at
that
all.
president was going to shut them down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he was an immediate threat to them.
Yeah.
He was going to end their careers, end their power. Yeah.
I got this interesting from the JFK hearings. I wanted to play this here because I watched it earlier and I thought it was interesing. Jefferson Morley, independent researcher. Here's his take on it.
For the first time, in 2023, the CIA fully declassified for the first time its pre-assassination file on Lee Harvey Oswald in November of 1963. This file was held in the office of James Angleton, counterintelligence chief at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, not 5 miles from the White House where President Kennedy lived and worked. To be sure, the declassified Oswald file is not a smoking gun. I showed it to journalists whose judgment I trust, and they shrugged. They said, this is evidence of incompetence. CYA, they said, cover your ass.
This is something we've always talked about.
Yep.
A lot of incompetence, but that incompetence is a smokescreen for people that are more nefarious and are planning things out.
Plausible deniability.
Yes.
Butler
Certainly works.
Same thing in Butler.
And that's a very good journalists. You mean like the same journalists that took out Nixon that weren't one of them wasn't Bob Woodward wasn't a journalist, and his very first fucking there's a whole thing I forgot who put it out there now, but there's a whole thing where Bob Woodward, that was his first story, and taking out Nixon was a complete CIA op. Well,
I didn't quite believe that, but I couldn't prove them wrong until March 18th. That was the day that the National Archives began posting long secret JFK assassination records that had been withheld from public view for decades. I started by looking at 9 declassified documents about Mr. Angleton. He was the man who compiled the Oswald file. And when I came to a long secret transcript of Angleton's testimony to the House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1978, my reservations about passing judgment on the responsibility vanished. One newly declassified passage showed that Angleton had lied under oath about his surveillance of Oswald's correspondence while he lived in the Soviet Union from 1959 to 1962.
This is a counterintelligence CIA operative, by the way, that he's talking about.
By the way, that's also 3 years in the Soviet Union.
And that, for me, was a tipping point. The transcript, which the CIA withheld from public view for half a century, confirmed a disturbing fact. James Angleton is the 3rd senior CIA officer known to have lied under oath about what they knew about the alleged assassin Oswald before JFK was killed. The first was Deputy Director Richard Helms. He lied to the Warren Commission in May 1964 when he said under oath the CIA had only, quote, minimal information about Oswald before JFK was killed. The second CIA officer who lied was George Joannides, chief of the Covert Action Branch of the Miami Station in 1963. His agents in the top secret AMSPEL program generated propaganda about Oswald's pro-Castro activities, both before and after the president was killed. 15 years later, in 1978, the CIA inserted Joannides into the House JFK investigation, and he blocked any investigation of contacts between Oswald and his AMSPEL agents. Obstructing Congress cannot be considered evidence of incompetence. And this is what I believe in summary. One false statement might be incompetence. A second false statement might be CYA for the first false statement. But 3 false statements by top CIA officers about Kennedy's accused killer, that is a pattern.
Yep.
Boom.
A conspiracy.
It is literally a conspiracy, yeah.
Yep.
It's the meme, dude. Every time we have shooters that are just shooting up people, citizens. We get, well, they were on our. This is the FBI most of the time.
They're on our
They were on
radar.
our radar. It's the same thing. Like
Say
the
the
key
line,
is on
Bart.
there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like, why were you covering up to that level?
Exactly.
Are you covering up just because, we dropped the ball, we're going to lie about it, now we're going to get a CIA agent into the committee that is looking into it? No, don't look into any of these connections. Like, that's just over the top.
I think that when you look at the stuff that he was doing before the assassination, I think he was actually trying to leave the country and just dip out. I mean, MK Ultra, maybe like trigger words. Like I think that he was one of those experimental something that he did potentially shoot. Obviously, he was part of this whole thing. But when he went to Mexico, and they were saying this Russia connection, right? He was in the Russian consulate, I think in Mexico, right? And he was trying to get back into the Soviet Union. And that was one of the things that was omitted. And then finally it came to light. And it was like, well, why would he try to leave? Why was he trying to like get out of the country? He wasn't successful, right? Because this was a couple weeks before the assassination attempt. And then, yeah, I mean, I just find that's weird. Like, why would he try to leave? And that's one thing that just keeps rumbling through my head. Like, why would he want to leave? Why would he try to escape the United States and go back to Russia? I think it was like maybe because he knew that he was going to get killed. Like he knew that if he went through with this, that he was going to be. Jack Ruby took him out. He knew it was going to happen. It was like he's not an idiot, or maybe I don't know. Who knows? But
I don't know. My theory on it is that he was not directly connected. Like he wasn't aware that the CIA was manipulating him. The CIA was opening those doors, like I was saying. He's just already a radical. He's already somebody that went to the Soviet Union, that loves communism, is doing all these things, and he might be crazy enough to try and do that. Even, we get those situations where the FBI corners somebody. They say, hey, we're going to all kidnap fucking Gretchen Whitmer, right? So just kind of nudge him in that direction. He ends up going through with it. Maybe he has reservations and he tries to get back out, whatever, but he ends up going through with it. They have a second shooter ready to go in case he misses or doesn't go through with it. He ends up taking the shot. Second shooter takes out. Boom.
Yep.
We don't even hear from him ever again because Jack Ruby.
Yep.
And then all the strings are nicely tied up. And then we have the nice CIA agent and the Warren Commission go, don't look at any of the connections here. We're all good. And I think they were hoping to continue that till, forevermore. And then I think the whole Trump came in and messed up all their plans because like all these people, they're all together. They're all in the same bed together. I'm sure the CIA's got shit on all the different Democratic and Republican people. And Trump came in with no strings attached, completely out of left field, and messed it all up.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are blaming Israel, and it was mentioned. I feel like we just get it over with because it was a country that was only around for 15 years. So from start, right? Israel had only existed for 15 years at this point. That's a lot of power to gain to take out a sitting president.
Yeah.
Now there was the whole theory of them trying to gain nuclear weapons. They had their nuclear site. The name eludes me. Polmata.
No.
Chat might know it. But I don't think, and they were mentioned in a few papers, and it was weird. But to me, I think that it's almost being used as a smoke daimona. Thank you very much.
Yes, it is. It is.
I think it's the same thing as the incompetence that they used it like, oh, cool, look over there. Oh yeah, blame this. Or yeah, perfect. This is great. Everyone look over there. Blame the Jews instead of. I mean, I'm not saying that like they could have had a piece of it. I don't know, but like I think it's the CIA that was protecting its own ass and having all these things in place to take the fall.
I think it was a very well. The CIA wasn't super old then either, if we
It's a good
think
point.
about it.
That's true.
But I think it was a 3-letter agency that wanted to maintain its power and not be questioned, and maybe in some very disturbed way, they see themselves. Well, they're the operative from Serenity. That's what they are.
Yeah.
That's what the CIA is. It's not supposed to operate in America, by the way. I think it was a very young 3-letter agency that was grappling with power with the military industrial complex. So we're talking about two bad guys who didn't like each other. And again, go to the day after Roswell. I know it's a very unusual book to bring up, but I've brought this up before, guys. It's about the day after Roswell, and it's about Philip J. Corso and how he was in charge of this filing cabinet that had some technology in it that they wanted to engineer and put into practical status for weaponry, for industry. But the other part of the book really talks about the political struggle within the government between Americans and a communist uprising that was definitely happening within our government at the time. Again, I bring this up, the Red Scare from Hollywood. Razorfist has a couple of great videos on this, where Hollywood just goes off on this and with blacklisting people, and hey, we don't like people being blacklisted. It just turns out that a lot of people that were blacklisted for being communists were communists.
Turns out.
Shocker.
Wow.
And like hardcore communists.
Yeah.
Like die in the wool, not soft communists, hardcore communists. And that was happening within our government too. And there's so many things we don't like, the motives, the executive order to move away from the Federal Reserve, go back to basing our money on gold. Razorfist will refute this, and honestly, he's been to school for being a historian, and I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, but he said he was never going to end the Vietnam War, and I would tend to agree with them. I'd say if Kennedy stayed alive, that we would have probably still gone to Vietnam. I'm pretty sure we still would have gone to Vietnam. That could be me. And the CIA feeling threatened. There was also President Kennedy was on meth and fucking everybody, which made him a problem.
Yeah.
Which made him a problem.
Compromised. Yeah.
He's compromised, easy to blackmail. And the CIA does not like competition. Okay. They do not like it. They're the ones who are going to compromise people and blackmail them, and not other people. So, and I wasn't there. So, I'm just going off of all the information, but there is a lot of Bay of Pigs. There is so many people had motives to kill him, like motives to take him out. And he was just insanely popular. He was this insanely popular president who was going to, man, if he'd have stayed alive, the whole two-term thing probably would have gone by the wayside with him. There's a lot of reasons. There's no way it was just one guy. I believe our CIA did. I believe it was us. We're the big boss. Like, America's still, even back then, we're the fucking big boss. We're the ones manipulating everything. We're what does the CIA do? What does it exist to do? Regime change. What has it done over the last 50 years? Changed a lot of regimes. Democratically elected regimes, by the way.
Yeah. You think they're not doing that here? Think they never use those same techniques here?
Oh, of course not. That would be ridiculous. We have full trust in our 3-letter agencies, and they're above board, and they're just fighting for the good of the American people. It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bring up anything else.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the theory of him trying to return the dollar, but backed by silver instead of gold. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just
maybe
another reason people wanted him killed.
Yeah.
Just to add it to the list,
Well, I mean, everybody's bringing up Mossad, but there's MI6 too. MI6, Mossad, CIA.
I think they all work together.
They all fucking work together.
And I think they're all control. I mean, the Bilderbergs group, like that elite on the planet that want to rule the planet, like the kings of the planet. Like I feel like those are the people that are really behind everything. You know, the bankers, the freaking.
Well, it's been
I
that
think
for a long time, right? I mean, like even when kings were kings, the kings weren't ruling everything. Like there were people behind the kings going, "Hey, you got to do this, or we should do this," and they were
Church,
manipulating.
Yeah.
The
was
church
ruling a lot
right?
of stuff.
It's the same thing that we've had forever. It's just under a different name. I think they just figured out, hey, if we're not the guy in the front, we don't get all the anger, and we could do whatever we want. And they just completely did that. They took over.
Go look at the War of the Roses is amazing. That's what Game of Thrones is kind of loosely based on, by the way.
Right. It's
incredible.
And Littlefinger.
What is it?
That's all
War
it
of
is.
the Roses?
War of the Roses. Yeah.
No, but what is that?
Oh, the War of the Roses is the Tudors, and it's basically a fight for the throne.
Yeah.
Oh, like Europe.
It was in
400
England.
years, 500 years
yeah,
ago.
the Lancasters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
So the CIA is Viserys. He's the spider. They're the spider. And you've got Littlefingers out there trying to also vie for the power as well. It's all happening.
He could be the NSA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I don't think that's what, like you said, like it's Mossad. They're all working together. I don't think they're all working together. I think they're all working together in the aims of being evil, but I don't think they're literally in cahoots with each other. I think they're all doing evil shit, and they all want to be the guy that's on top. Because like they're nobody's gonna go, oh yeah, guy, Mossad, you're gonna be the leader, and then oh no, the MI6, you're gonna be the leader. Like they all want to be the leader, so they're all gonna be cutthroating each other, and that's why we're seeing all this shit all the time. Because they're not working together. I feel like if they were working together, it'd be much better.
That's a good movie, by the way, Father. A very good movie. Crazy end. Crazy ending. Such a good ending into that movie.
I feel like they would just be more cohesive if they were working together. It just doesn't seem as cohesive.
No. Well, I mean, our world isn't cohesive, and that's the thing,
right?
Where you got to kind of, maybe unplug once in a while from the internet, or just understand that the world has always been this crazy. We just know about it now. But it's always been this crazy. There's always death and horror out there. And then you walk outside and like the Bill Hicks routine, you're watching CNN, war, famine, death. I put my head out my window and it's no, whoops, wrong one. This.
Yeah, just
the other one would work too.
But having that message out there, the war, famine, death,
depends on your day.
It keeps you it keeps you afraid. It keeps you like, oh man, I need somebody to protect me. I mean, I need the CIA out there to protect me on the government. Because the communists are coming, right?
Job security.
Yep.
How do they create job security? Well, by keeping things stirred up.
Exactly.
We which is weird because I just watched the World Police for our comedy arc, or EFAP comedy arc that you'll see someday. We are not the World Police, but they try to make us that way. So they have, so just like the military industrial complex, we need to keep the wars going, keep that machine running. It's good for the economy. Like,
Eisenhower tried to warn us.
He did try to warn us, and it's this brings us to I don't think he came up with this term, but it's a term that I completely believe in. David Icke, really sane guy. I listened to him for a long time, though. It's, what? He's good at building things up, but his summations are a little wacky, we'll just say. So he talked about problem, reaction, solution. And we see that a lot. We've seen it a lot lately. And it is basically, I'll just put it to the summer of love. I wouldn't put it beyond the shadow. I fully believe that facets of our government provided funds to NGOs to gather people up via social media and pay them, and then say in Dallas that Alex Jones got video of in Dallas, pallet of bricks being delivered, and that's not the only place it happened. It happened in every American city. That is amazing coordination from a bunch of fucking losers who don't have fucking jobs. That's amazing coordination.
Or busing people around in U-Hauls, which we saw as well.
We did. Yes. Yes. Busing people into San Diego to riot, because San Diego doesn't riot, dude. San Diego doesn't
Minnesota.
riot. Shit. Minnesota.
Yeah. All over the place. So there's definitely a hand
Adrian
somewhere.
Curry was just talking about they did a protest in her little Montana town and they bust people in from 70 miles away, probably further. Yes. And what that does is create a problem. It creates chaos in the streets. Chaos in the streets. Please keep us safe, daddy government. It's like, no problem. We'll come in and keep you safe.
Yeah.
We'll just create some new laws. They're for your safety. We're going to spy on you more. They're for your safety. Problem, reaction, solution. Patriot Act is the perfect example of problem, reaction, solution. Every fucking time. Do you think there's grassroots efforts to just all of a sudden randomly start burning Teslas?
Yeah. That's just the everyman out there just sticking it to Elon all together, all at once.
Those are patriotic movements to burn Teslas down. The only car that's 100% made in America.
Yes, and the same people who are championing this, they're all members of Greenpeace, are out there burning fucking Teslas.
Right. And who buys electric vehicles the most? Like which side tends to like try to be green? It's
so transparent.
It's like you guys are burning
so transparent.
Probably a lot of Democratic voters' cars.
Yes. Well, they have stickers now that say, I bought this before Elon. It's like Passover.
That's so stupid.
It is like Passover. They're like, please don't destroy my car. I'm one of you. It's the same thing we saw during the riots.
Black Lives Matter. Like, please, I'm a supporter. And then, they don't give a shit. They're not supporters either.
And all those white people out there burning stuff during Black Lives Matter riots is weird. Totally weird. So my belief is it was absolutely funded. It's been funded. It's being funded by our tax dollars. And what I'm waiting for is, because I've heard Elon talk about these people are paid. It's okay, great. I've assumed that since day one. I've assumed that since what was the Seattle riot? What was the Seattle riot? The late 90s. It was like the biggest riot we've had in America in a while. It was over the bankers, and it was I can't remember the riot chat. It's been a minute. I've slept since then. I believe these are paid for. These are bought and paid for. And there were documentaries at the time during the Summer of Love that they showed guys who had been at Democratic voting stations who are coordinating
WTO.
People. Yeah, a World Trade Organization riots. So yeah, back in the day.
Okay.
Okay. Occupy was my first.
Yeah, that's the first time I remember
something like that.
Yeah, Occupy,
I was in New York at the time too.
Occupy got occupied pretty quick. Occupy
introduce them to identity politics.
This is an globalization movement that started the riot in Seattle. Man, look how far we've come. Look how far we've come.
But I think that was staged to have sympathy for the World Trade Organization. I think it was complete bullshit. Now, I'm not for the World Trade Organization. I am not for globalists in any way, shape, or form. But it did garner them some sympathy. It absolutely worked in the narrative. People are look at those savages in Seattle.
And it's not that hard to set people in Seattle off. Trust me, I've been there. They're on the razor's edge of craziness.
But my question with all this is, okay, we've known this for a long time that they keep paid. How come we never ever hear who's doing the paying? How come not one person? How come not one person is fucking snitched?
Soros.
Well, you tie up those loose ends, bro. They can't snitch if they got stitches.
Soros was spending a lot of money. I think his son is an idiot.
If these people are getting paid $400 a day, why not just go to one of them and go, I'll pay you $500. I'll pay you $1,000 a day just to fucking rat all these people out.
Tell me.
Well, no one's gonna do that. Somebody will.
No one knows who's going to give that money though. Who's going to spend that money to find that person to give them up?
Well, the government usually would, but see that the government would be spending money against itself.
Right. Yeah.
So
there surely would have to be layers. Like practically, if you wanted to fund rioters, you don't want the rioters to know that you're funding them to be rioters, right? But you gotta. So there have to be some kind of government program where you give them extra money, and the person that they're talking to is like a social worker or something. So even if you went to a rioter and said, "Hey, give up those people,"
guy or some guy posing as an Antifa guy or a real one, who's willing to do it. There's layers. You're right. There's layers and layers of protection. That's why they haven't been able to get to the bottom of this, which is really strange.
My
Because you think
question,
once they would get it.
my question is like when Elon's looking through all this stuff and saying, "Hey, all these things, these NGOs that are being funded, this bank account that has billions of dollars just sitting there for years, that's funneling out NGO money." Who signed off on that? I know it's not going to be the guy that's behind all of it, but like, who was the last person in the chain? Because you're the government, and you have to have a chain of custody of some sort. Who was the last person? There's somebody on paper.
There isn't though. I don't know.
There is. It goes president, then people, and there is somebody at the end of that line. I don't know if they're the one. They're probably just the fall guy, but there's somebody there. Who's that name?
I think it was Elon Musk on Joe Rogan. He was talking about it was a couple weeks ago, and he was telling Joe about how that chain of custody of like where like who approves money,
Right.
like there isn't that this doesn't exist and whoever like signs the checks, they just are just signing checks. They don't even care. If requests come in, NGO, like wherever, sending money somewhere. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, doesn't matter. We got the money. We're good for it. And if they run out of money, they print more. It's just like it's blank checks. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like
But
that's the way. So there is no chain.
There is somebody that has to be accountable at some point. It may be super high up in the government, but somebody is at the top that can be held accountable. They may not be the ones that are aware. It may be so far down that chain that it's like dissipated and people are just writing blank checks under them. But somebody's there.
I think that's the case.
Somebody has the name.
Or they set it up a long time ago and it's just still running.
Yeah.
Because it's just
It could be that. Yeah.
it's a freaking mine cart that's just gone. No one's driving it. It's just on the rails flying, getting us deeper and deeper into a hole.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like anyway. Right. And Trump's trying to I don't know, dig us out of that.
He's trying to
I know
disrupt
people don't like tariffs. He is disrupting it for sure.
He is acting just as Silicon Valley used to back in the day when they would disrupt cab drivers, when they would disrupt, hotels, and when it all flattens out, like there's still hotels, there's still Airbnbs, there's still cabs, there's still Ubers,
right.
But we're disrupting the biggest corporation of all time. And people can be upset about tariffs, but a bunch of countries are dropping their tariffs against us. If tariffs,
Taiwan just went to zero. They're like, all right,
the whole fucking point of it. That's the whole.
They need
us.
It's winning. Yeah, they need our money more than we need theirs.
Yeah,
essentially.
I'm not a fan of tariffs, but we need to get rid of all of them. I mean, if we like, aren't we allowed to use them if every single country's using them against us?
Yeah.
So
it's a good point.
It's going to be disruptive, and the countries are going to back down because we're the big daddy. Okay, and like China can talk. Oh man, all the propaganda going on China right now,
Dude. There's so much.
Jesus Christ, influencers going out there going, it's amazing. They took me to the best part of town. They didn't take me to the concentration camp in Wuhan. Or wherever the fuck it is.
It's so
Wuhan,
nice here.
Or gain of function labs in Wuhan with like target security.
That's the thing. It's like they say we want to act like China is on our level. Dude, that's pathetic. If you see any shot of China, it's like run down. It looks like a third world country. But they're not on our same exactly. Yeah, empty.
They have certain projects that are amazing, right? That they're putting up, but
the showcases.
That's all they are. Is there's
literally a facade.
Yeah.
Well, their population was supposedly over 1 billion, but there are rumors that they have been lying about that, propping up the lie that they have billions of people.
India surpassed them.
Well, people claim that there's like only 400 million Chinese citizens. I'm like, that's a huge
citizens.
That's a little different.
Giant different. It's a huge different. Well, I mean, who knows? Can you trust what the Chinese government tells you?
Right.
Do you trust what any government tells you? But especially China. I love that they're getting their land, or potentially getting their land that they own taken from them in America.
Why were they allowed to do that? Why were they allowed to buy?
And if you look at where they are too, they're all located very close to air bases, military stations. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
So problem, reaction, solution. We're seeing that right now. And I am not, I don't like being alarmist or fucking civil war. But I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility, as I said at the beginning of the year, Quarter Black Garrett and Adam, that we'd get another Summer of Love 2.0. I would not put that out of the realm of possibility.
What are they doing right now?
It's starting right now, essentially.
Yep.
That's what it feels like.
All in the guy. This is why it's so transparent to me. It's like there's supposedly this grassroots movement against Elon Musk because Elon is looking into the numbers of the government. Like, what is your
finding out what USAID actually? It's not aid. No.
Yeah. That is not an opinion that a normal person that lives in the world would be angry about. Like, if you were just work and you live and you're doing your thing, you would not be mad about a person looking into the numbers and making sure everything is working efficiently. That's the opinion of somebody that doesn't want you to look in to the fucking
psychotic
government.
The people, you look at them too, and it's like, wow, you are just telling the world. You're out there screaming to the world how low of an IQ you have, essentially.
Yes. My God, what the fuck?
Or you just want your team to win that badly. It just does it because you need to be right. I don't.
It's just a different side of the same coin.
Still stupid. Absolutely. Still just as stupid. But yeah. I think that's most of it. It's mostly people going, I want my team to win. I don't like Donald Trump and I don't like Elon. And then the people that are like, yeah, don't look into the stuff. That's why we want. Bro.
But Soros is cool.
At least
we're fine with Soros. What did CNN
totally
say?
Fine.
Well, because he stayed in the shadows. It's like, what?
That does not. What? CNN, you're saying the quiet part out loud. At least the last one. Look, the last one was built upon a very flimsy premise. The police killed this man out of whatever, and now we're gonna riot. Okay, at least that had some kind of like logical. I can understand why people would be that dumb to riot. This one doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm just mad because Elon is looking into how efficient the government is running. That's so bad. They have nothing, dude. Like that's why I don't want to be black pilled. I'm not black pilled because they're on the back foot. They're freaking out. They have no cards to play. That's why they keep playing shit hands. They're like, I don't have anything to play, but we have to play something.
And Trump is doing so much so fast that they can't let's complain about this. Well, wait, let's complain about this. Oh shit, he's doing so much. He's just decimating everything that they. And I like it. People are like, well, it's just you're just trusting what Elon's telling you. It's like Elon Musk can't do anything that isn't approved by the Trump administration.
Yeah,
people don't realize Elon wasn't.
He's just the investigator. That's all he is.
He wasn't elected, sure, but I knew that he was going to do that. So, I mean, technically, I voted for it.
Actually, and they have a website where you can look at all of it, all the documents. It's all posted publicly, what they're doing every day.
It's transparent, right? It's like, what exactly? I want to talk to some of these people, but they don't talk to you. Every single person that's ever done like a man on the street with these people, they just return with emotions and vitriol and just spit, basically, because they don't actually have any idea what they're actually mad at. All they're saying is he's anti-American, he's Hitler, he's all this bullshit that means absolutely nothing. They don't have any logical argument. It's again, they're just proving to the world how low of an IQ they are. They're just going with my team is obviously right, so I'm in the right, and I'm going to yell at you for it.
Yeah, and that was the after post-election, I said that this is not a problem that Trump's going to be able to solve in 4 years. But definitely get it started. We have to get this train turned around now, or it doesn't get turned around at all. And there needs to be an heir apparent who will do it. And we need to have more old Democrats RFK out there working together on this to turn shit around, or it's just going to be politics as usual from now on. And he's got the entire fucking machine, the EU. Coming down on him, it's not going to be easy. So that was the election wasn't a victory It was we got our foot in the fucking door.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the
And,
door
like,
was slamming shut, and we
the
just
door
were
was
like,
slamming
"Nope."
shut.
Okay. Whew.
And it's
Now we
gonna
have a
be-
long road.
Ugly, and
Yeah.
we're not gonna like what we're talking for. What I'm hoping for is this. God, I'll be called a fence sitter for this. I don't give a shit. Balance, common sense. That's all I
Yeah.
want.
How it's supposed to be.
And we're fighting for that. We're fighting for
Yeah.
just fucking sanity right now because it is
Right.
insane, and it's you're not going to win every battle. You're absolutely not going to win every battle. There are people still in the Trump administration who are duplicitous pieces of shit. We're seeing it.
Facts.
You know what? I think a great example of what we're seeing within the government is what we're seeing in like fucking right-wing journalism or Con Inc. We're seeing like the minute something goes a little sideways, you see the Ben Shapiro's fucking jumping off. You see them, you can identify the snakes because they're not really they're not down for the cause. They don't give a
Right.
shit. Ben Shapiro is a neocon. He's a fucking neocon and always been a neocon. And I am very anti neocon. I think they're just as bad as the uber progressive commie Democrats. I think they're just as fucking bad. And we need to get rid of the uniparty. And you will see people just like the first sign of trouble, they will fucking jump off. And we're already starting to see it. We're already starting to see it. So like, I've got no time for that bullshit. I just want our country to be healthy. And that's all which is no fucking wars.
Yep.
No fucking wars, ending the war in Ukraine.
Getting us the fuck out of it at
other
the very
countries in a
least.
war, they can fucking work it out. Okay.
Correct.
And whatever that is, they can work it out. Sorry, we're not your daddy. And you don't need our money. The whole Canada 51st state thing.
I think he was just
I know he's trolling, but some people think he's really serious. For one, it's a fucking terrible idea. I don't want Canada. I want a free, independent Canada.
Greenland is real, though.
I want Canada to prosper on their own and not take care of our money to do it. That's all I like. I'd
love for Mexico to clear out all of the cartels. Clear out all the cartels and clean your shit up and all your government and prosper. I'd love that. That'd be great.
Have a new election. And don't assassinate 38 people so that the WEF
the last one.
Dude, I would love a prosperous Mexico.
Is good
because I want to go back down there. I loved going to Mexico. It was
go.
lots of fun, great food.
Great.
Yeah. Just don't want to get my, get kidnapped or have my head chopped off, which happens.
That would suck.
That would suck.
I think that would
to
suck.
my head. Greenland,
like my head
though, if Greenland is okay with it and seems they are, then
they are,
that's their choice, right?
They don't want Denmark anymore.
Come on.
What did
cut out the middleman?
Why are they pissed at Denmark? I honestly don't know. Is it?
I was reading some interesting
shit,
or a theory about Denmark and how they're actually way more powerful than people think they are because of the remnants of like how powerful the East India Trading Company was and like how they've like shifted from that company into like countries and governments around the world.
Yeah,
and I was like,
big
whoa, what is
okay.
it? I never even thought about it, but it's interesting. I'll show you the video.
The wealth of empires doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere else. They talked about that with, Rome, father, we saw you out there. Rome went to the church.
Yeah.
Rome went to the church. The British Empire went to their bank. These things still exist. And yeah, dude, where you are, the whole part of you is insanely rich and powerful. And France has a really good fucking military. Israel has a really good military. These countries
so they don't need America.
Yeah.
Nowhere near ours, but they have good military. Like France is pretty, they got a lot of nuclear bombs. And they have good fighters and they have a good military.
Africa paid for it.
And their first lady's a dude.
Totally.
That's
100%. That's 100%.
It's hard to tell because they're French.
I mean, would it bother me because they're French? No.
There's some hot French babes. Says.
Oh God, yes.
The bell curve. There's a bell curve.
God,
bell curve. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See those hairy witches?
No, okay, there's a big bell curve, but like there's really hot.
But on the ends though.
French women are hot. That is undeniable.
It's true. They are.
But yeah, like it's gonna may you live in interesting times, and we are for the rest of our lives, by the way, folks.
Facts. Especially if the next micronova is true. I mean, we're man.
What was that about? Because I didn't watch that video. You were saying there's really interesting stuff happening with the micronovas, possibly.
There was a nova, but it was not with the sun, and also not micro. That's not a subject worthy of talking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's domestics. I don't get involved in that.
Yeah. Right.
Don't ever get involved in domestics.
No.
But no, I think we'll see. I think it's, if Trump doing all this strong arming stuff with the tariff, really smart to do it early on in your presidency. And we'll see what happens. We're already seeing countries drop them. Some probably won't for a little while, but they're going to have to at some point. And listen, I'm not going to sit there and is it going to affect people? When gas went up, it pissed me off. When eggs, I eat lots of eggs.
Same.
And I still eat them, but this correction was coming no matter what. I hope everybody fucking realizes that when you print money that does not exist, which our money doesn't anyway, but when you make more of it, we have to pay the piper at some point. And every president going back to Bush 1 has kicked the can down the road on interest rates and all this shit. And it's just been building up and building up. Now, 2008 was a correction that needed to happen. And then nobody went to jail, and actually the rich got richer, which there's going to be something like that again, because we haven't really fixed the problem. In 2008, when they fixed the problem, it was a fucking Band-Aid. And then they awarded a bunch of motherfuckers who should all be in jail.
Yeah.
With American taxpayer dollars too.
With American taxpayer dollars. And
Nike lost something like, I don't remember what their market share drop was. It was in the billions. It was insane. But it's because Trump said he wants to bring manufacturing back to America. Well, how do you do that? Make it monetarily viable for companies to actually make. They're going to bring factories back. They'll make the factories if it's cheaper for them instead of going overseas. If it's too expensive to go overseas, guess what? That's American jobs. Then it's going to be even cheaper. It's going to sting for a little bit.
And they've done this before. And that's why Honda and Toyota and Subaru, they all have fucking. By the way, Alan Ng put up a tweet of all the car companies that are not going to be affected by tariffs. And it's most of them. Toyota's not going to be affected.
Texas.
Nissan.
Texas.
Honda. They all have factories here. I've been to the factories.
Boom.
Been there.
Yep.
And
society is not used to delayed gratification. Everyone it's all about instantaneous. I want the cheapest. It's like the cheap products break. People need to get back to the age of, I'm going to buy this one thing that's really solid and good. America used to be known for that kind of stuff. Made in America, even still actually today, when you see made in America, that shit's good quality and good. That's how it should be. Yeah. When you see made in China, how do you think the quality's gonna when you see it?
Hey, when you get a bass,
and be trash,
piece of shit. Or Adam, when you get a guitar or bass, where do you? Yeah. They have to be made in America. 100%.
There it is. Made in America used to mean something.
They're better.
It's but you only need one. Sure, it's expensive, but like it's not going to break in a year, and then you have to buy another one, and then it's going to break another year. Right? Exactly.
You're spending way more that way. My grandparents.
It's a mentality.
Are still cooking. I went to go see my grandparents a couple weeks ago. Still cooking on the same stove that they had when I was a baby, and in fact, much older than that. It's like from the 70s, and that thing is still rocking.
Of course,
because it was made to last.
Assembled in America. You're right.
We need to get back there, dude.
All right.
Yeah, they're assembled in America, so they'll make they produce the parts in Japan. And then they bring them out here and they assemble them. But that's a good compromise. That's fine. And you know what? Fucking Toyota and Honda make good cars, good reliable cars that last for fucking ever. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we need to get better at making cars.
Yeah.
And they did, I guess,
Making
with
everything.
Tesla, and they fucking burned them. And like, hey, I want to support. I'd buy a Ford, I guess, maybe someday. But you know what? You want some dad advice here? I'll do it again, Garrett. Sorry. Don't buy a new fucking car ever, of any kind, ever. It's stupid. Absolutely
will.
stupid. Buy a
Never have.
lightly used car if you have to, and then drive it into the fucking ground.
That's what I do with my blue car.
Don't buy your cars like you're changing your clothes. A bunch of influencers out there love to buy their most fucking stupidest thing you can do. Take that money that you were going to buy your new car and put it towards a house, a place that you can own, and then try to own it outright. Save your money and try to own it outright. And no, you might not live in the best neighborhood in the world, or you might not be able to live in San Francisco or Southern California, but there's places you can buy houses that can be your own. And then if the shit hits the fan and the micronova happens, you got your place to stay.
True.
Yeah. A lot of it's is marketing. It's marketed you into, oh yeah, I saw that new truck on that ad during the Super Bowl. I got to get that thing. That looks nice. Look at the extended cab on that. Look at that. Oh, I got to get that new car. I got to get those new clothes. I got to get that new watch. Yeah. It's like, no, you don't really need to.
I bought like one brand new fancy car, and I'm like, I instantly regretted it. I was like, this is dumb. This is dumb.
And also support small shops too. I feel like we have all these monopolies without like the label of monopoly, because these giant corporations all work together to like control prices and to like,
which is supposed to be illegal, by the way. Price fixing, collusion.
But let's be real. I mean,
are all supposed to be illegal.
It's a monopoly if three companies all work together to control the market. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very smart, actually.
Multiple.
People making their own stuff, right? I there's a lot of cool blacksmiths around me that you can get like really nice like cutlery and kitchen knives that are perfectly. But you look at the prices of like a nice kitchen knife online that you could get from, I don't know what, Target or Walmart or something like that, and then okay, you spend twice as much. You're supporting a local business, and it's going to last your entire life. Your entire life.
Yeah, I wish there was more of that. It's just.
Well, I want that. I feel like that's the answer. Oh, it's too expensive. Well, why don't you, make a hobby? Start working on
that's where
something.
the gig economy has really replaced, which is really sad, because like the mom and pop shop is my favorite thing in this country. Like that is pure Americana, is the mom and pop shop. And because of government regulations, they've made it impossible. But now we have this gig economy, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Where you could go on Etsy and sell some stuff. You can go out, fucking deliver Uber Eats for a little while to get some extra scratch. Like none of that shit was around when I was a kid. Like that's fucking great. And the fact
you have to take out like a classified ad or something like in the newspaper.
I know.
Yeah, it's one of the best parts about the internet.
Yeah, easily. The ability to go onto Etsy and you could get literally anything, anything that could be handmade.
White
like even things
wig.
that are like, dude, perfect example right there.
I got one white powder wig.
Yeah,
you did?
I try to do that more.
Just wear it around your house. Is it for private time with the missus? Or what?
No, I got it because I wanted to be like a founding father for Halloween, and then I did, and then I used it for like my gaming moniker is Commodore. So I sailed the seas in like full like George Washington outfit. It was great. Yeah, my white powder wig.
Yep. I mean, again, the gig economy is there. Like you lose your job. We've had a couple people in chat, which is really sad. They've been in a job 9 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they lost their job. Well, I mean, while you're looking for a job, you can instantly, if you have a car, you can instantly start making money again. Yeah. And that's great. And believe me, the government wants to fucking shut that down. They absolutely, they've tried every 100%. Way. Well, California, that your buddy Tim was bitching about this, and he's not wrong. They did it in California to my and it really affected my wife for contract workers. If you pay somebody for a certain amount of time, they are considered an employee and they can't be a contract worker, which makes you restructure your whole thing. You probably have to get rid of a couple people. And the reason you have to get rid of a couple people is because if they become official employees, then you have to pay a fucking fuckload of taxes on that and regulation and all this other bullshit. And yes, you want to take care of your employees. And what my wife was able to do when she was contracting people was pay them more, and then they can get their own insurance. But she would help pay for that. She would go, here's your base pay, and then here's some extra so you can get your own insurance. But that's a whole fucking rig system too, because you have to be part of a big group or employer to get insurance now, and getting individual insurance. Sure, you can get it, but it's catastrophe insurance. It's basically if you get cancer, and that's about it. You fucking break a bone and stuff, you're better off just going to one of those little mom and pop doctors that are popping up now, mostly to pass out pills. But you can go there and they can like check your broken arm or something like that.
Yeah, most of that stuff, it's more financially sound to just pay out of pocket than to do a insurance. Like, it doesn't make any sense if you're on your own. Like, you're not in some kind of corporation.
No, but like, so like, she had to basically get rid of a couple employees and take it in the shorts to pay the ones she kept the same. But she was able. They don't understand is like, if you're contracted, we can pay you more. and then the contractee in some cases can become an LLC, and then they can, take care of the taxes that way and not pay as much in taxes. It depends on how it works. But, and I'm a big fucking dummy on this shit. My dad was a CPA, but the apple fell very, very miles away from the tree.
There was a cliff right next to the tree.
There was a cliff, and it went down the river into the sewer. But, yeah, like it certainly helps. But California restricted that and fucked a lot of the gig economy. Didn't take it away completely, but it fucked it. And that will be coming to a state near you. And it's because they want to control us. They somehow still envision, no matter what bullshit you hear about people backing off of globalism, is we're going to be one global community we can just sell shit to each other in our little boxes that we don't own, and we can have a subscription for everything, but we won't own it. And
you never leave that box. And you don't ever go outside to see anybody else. You don't need to.
You eat bugs.
You stay inside, eat the bugs.
And they're pushing this shit on us. And Elon's right. There's large portions of America you will drive through and not see anybody. The overpopulation is bullshit.
Fucking yeah! I went to West Texas, bro. There's so much space out there. It's ridiculous. We're never going to be there
in West Texas. I love driving through West Texas.
It's great. I love West
Texas.
Texas,
New Mexico,
bro.
you won't see a fucking soul for a while.
It takes forever to get through West Texas.
Yep.
It really is interesting thinking about like the Matrix and how the allegory in that is like the robots have taken us humans and they're using us in these pods as batteries. That's what they're doing now. They're going, look, stay in your house, be ever connected to the internet, keep consuming because we're the batteries. We're the little batteries that go out and make money, and then they take our money that funds their bullshit that they do.
Yep.
That's what's happening.
Dude, there's areas outside of San Antonio, the hill country, Garrett.
Oh, dude.
Gorgeous out there.
Beautiful
Nobody lives
place.
out there. It's very sparsely populated.
Yes.
And I'm glad it's not overdeveloped and all that shit. They're actually around here anyway. I don't think they are in Austin or up near you, but they are slowing down permits.
Really?
Because the traffic's so fucking bad they can't keep up with it. With all the people coming over to Texas.
Good.
Yeah.
We need to start shutting that door.
Permits a little bit. I hate the fact that the permits exist, though.
Yeah.
I guess I'm old fashioned that way.
Put a stake in the ground. This is my ground.
My ground.
Here's my shotgun. That's my permit.
Gonna go dig a pit and be a prepper. If I had the money for that, that'd be cool.
I would actually do that if I had the time and money. Yeah, bunker for sure. I'd go buy one of those old military bunkers that are kind of derelict. Fix that sucker up. Heck yeah.
I would just
or just build my own.
Into the woods, find like a boulder.
Oh, bro, that's the ultimate male fantasy right there. Just go into the woods, live off the land, bro. Grow a big beard.
So
that's what I want to do.
Throw a stone, and
I ain't going. I like having my beard trimmed a little bit.
I would live out in the woods. I would go out and live in a cave, bro. Make your own food.
Vikings used to live under the boulders that are in my forest.
You should do that.
Like 1,000 years.
You should make that a video.
I will.
Go do that one day.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I found a grave out in the middle of the forest. Yeah. Yeah, I was
Has it
biking.
been plotted? Is it like on a...
No, it's in the middle. Like, dude, it's pretty cool. It feels like there's this little, like a clearing, and in the middle of this clearing is this pile of rocks, and
Oh, that's a grave.
Yeah.
it looks like a body's length and then a little bit more, and there's no other rocks. So like for some reason, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
They're all
It's a grave.
Those things are
I'm
all over
pretty
the
sure I
western,
found a grave.
all over the western United States from just settlers who got fucking murdered.
Mm.
There's actually I can't remember where I found it. It was through, I hate to say this, a Reddit page. But somebody was documenting like all the unknown graves that you can find that are old. They're from like the 1800s in the West, and there's just scattered everywhere.
I found
So many
one.
people fucking
Did I ever
died.
tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we lived out in the country, and there was a creek by our house, and we would just play in that creek all the time, every single day. We'd be out in that creek, and one time we just went really, really far down the creek, and we were doing. It was like Indiana Jones. There was an awesome like rock side with some like
Nice
vines and stuff, and we were doing our Indiana Jones thing, and we go up over this corner, and in this clearing, like the canopy of the trees were like all around, but there's a clearing under the canopy, and right in the middle of it was a singular obelisk, and it was a headstone for this guy named Thomas Boswell. I still remember the name because it was like Indiana Jones moment. It was like rubbing off the moss on the front to know what the name was.
Cool.
And it was like 1800s when this guy died. It was like he was born in like 1850 or 60 and then died in the early 1900s. It was crazy. And then there was a bunch of just wooden headstones. So we didn't know what they were. We didn't know if they were like other family members or slaves. I don't know. But it was the coolest experience as a little kid, like finding that on my own. And then the Historical Society came out and plotted it. So like we found history, bro. It was awesome. But yeah, that stuff's everywhere. Stuff's all over the place.
Hell yeah.
Like we went to the Boot Hill graveyard.
Dude, that was so cool.
That was really
That
cool.
was awesome.
Is it faux pas to find out if it's a grave?
Oh, you
Or
mean like
should I it's a pile of it's like a very it could be nothing, but it could be. Vikings have like there's my neighbor like or the plot of land directly next to mine.
So let's
is a
put this in
historical
context.
Viking site.
Yeah, we're talking like a
So they
Viking
lived
from
here.
thousands of years ago,
It could be.
as opposed to like,
It's not
whatever
a
his
great. It's
name
not.
was.
It's
Not
not
a
in the
grave from
past
the
300
1800s.
years.
where you could possibly find like some old sword and scabbard from
It's
a
true,
1,000
might
years
be.
ago. Oh, that would be tough.
That'd be so
I'm
I'm
freaking
sorry,
cool.
folks.
That'd be
That'd be tough
sick.
for me to resist.
I mean, it's worth
You
it.
could do it.
I should look, right?
do it scientifically, like don't just like, like I
Don't
would
just
assume
like,
you
throw
would.
the stones. Just
Gently
document
Toss
it.
the bones
Cover.
around. And, no,
It does.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough,
There's
right?
There's a superstition. Yeah,
It
the
would
only thing
take
that's
a
not me
while.
is superstition. It's stupid.
Right. Because I live on the edge of this
Drogger
forest.
on your ass. You don't want that. You don't want a drogger
Right.
on you.
I like wake up and I look out
bed,
the
bro?
window and there's a face just like staring at me,
That could be a
just
bad
covered
idea.
covered in dirt. It's
Yep.
like, oh shit.
Give me my
Uh-oh.
sword back.
Give me my sword back.
It's my
no,
family
worse.
sword.
He's holding the sword. It's like, uh-oh.
Oopsie.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is
Grave robber.
disrespectful.
I
It
know.
is.
That's why I asked. I visited at like I
Often.
know how to get I don't know if anyone knows about it because it's such in this like weird spot.
Yeah.
They might
These
not.
woods go for a long way. There's a lot of woods. It's pretty cool.
We will have to
Yeah.
go there when I visit.
I will show you the gravesite. Yeah. Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
definitely.
Can't wait to see it when we go to Europe. soon.
Yes.
Um,
It's gonna be epic.
I've been watching a fucking shit ton of Ancient Aliens, dude.
Have you?
Yes. I burned through I just picked in the middle somewhere. I think I
Yeah.
picked like
Just
season.
through a dart.
Yeah, it's 11 or 12 and just burned through like 3 seasons of it. And I saw one on, this was in later seasons. George Van Tassel. I'd never fucking heard of this guy. He ran one of the first UFO conventions. He was
Is that Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, that's Sleepy Hollow name. Van Tassel, bro.
Tassels?
That's an old name. That's an
he's
old
a
last
former
name.
aircraft inspector and ufologist from late 40s, early 50s. Moved his family out to the desert where it's out in the Mojave, so it's like north of Palm Springs and Joshua Tree. It's called Giant Rock. It's just a giant rock.
That will be called Giant Rock.
Yes, and he had the conventions out there at Giant Rock. And the first one, like a few thousand people showed up, and then like 20,000 people showed up in the middle of the fucking desert, and it would just be him on a podium in front of the rock talking about UFO
awesome.
shit. Then he built like this dome structure, and the whole special was about him extending his life and him using magnetism to his. Now the irony is, perfect health, died of a heart attack at the age of 67. The guy trying to extend his life, but died in 78, I think 1978. I had no idea. Like, this is the father of UFO conventions.
Van Tassel.
Van Tassel. And
It's
he's
a
got
good name.
He's got the dome structure is still out there. I don't know who owns it. But apparently when he died, this sounds very similar to Tesla, like all the stuff that he had come up with to extend his life and by the way, power the place by itself somehow. The CIA supposedly came in and fucking stole everything.
Of course.
Every
time.
CIA.
Magnetism.
We got to do an episode on that. All the things, all the inventions that have been
disappeared.
Yeah.
On that one, I completely believe. There's the old urban legend, which I don't think is an urban legend, of they invented a battery that can last for a perpetual battery a long time ago, but that was squashed. The patent was bought and it was squashed, so they can continue to sell batteries.
That makes sense.
I
Makes a lot of sense.
buy that.
Well, I don't understand. Well, like just something as simple as just the efficiency of solar panels. The government restricts them to like 27% efficient. They're not allowed to be any more efficient than that. It's like,
what
the fuck? Why? Why not? Why can't we have
ridiculous.
them 100% efficient? It's so stupid. I don't know.
It's to keep the economy going. That's why we're still on the petrodollar, right?
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, if everyone just bought one thing of everything, then you would have to make new
financial system would collapse.
We might have more money to do other things. Like, that's the thing, is like, it's the financial system that we have currently, as if there couldn't be a better one or just another one that's also good. Like, the one that we have has to be protected so much because they're the ones that are at the top.
Well, yeah, that's
why.
Protect their interests. It's not ours.
It's not for us. Yeah. It's not for the betterment of society, or like, it's because you guys have the purse strings.
Right.
They have the purse strings.
And that's why they killed JFK.
Yep. Circle back to that. Well done.
Wow.
Well done. We did it. We figured it out.
We did.
There's no free energy. Well, what if there is, though? What if 0 point energy exists?
What if
there's absolutely electrical currents going under you right now that can be tapped in to? 100%.
That's why Tesla was shut down.
In the atmosphere.
The ether.
Yeah. This might be an electrical universe.
I mean, technically it is.
Well, it is because it's a simulation. So technically it's.
I saw an interesting video about there being a potential like electricity, not wave, but like in the air above us, there's electricity that you could pull from. And it makes me think of Skinwalker Ranch, right?
Ooh.
How the rockets at a certain level either short out, or the GPS tweaks, or the drones that were going up, and as soon as they hit that certain level, some of them would drop out. And it's like, maybe they're just rediscovering some sort of electrical field that exists in the air that Tesla maybe understood and was tapping into.
Yeah, so I watched the Ancient Aliens episode. I rewatched Jeremy Corbell's original documentary that was based on the end of the Bigelow era. He actually interviews Brandon Fugel, but he's anonymous because they like, here's the person who just bought the ranch, and you could tell it's Brandon because it's so funny. I love Brandon Fugel, by the way. He's not embarrassed about how much fucking money he's made. And
True.
He's got the best collection I've ever seen. But like
Flex is like crazy.
Yeah.
Flex is like fucking crazy, and I'm here for it. I
respect it.
The dudes earn it, and I respect it.
Yeah.
But so in the interview, he's like, his face is blackened out, but they focus in on his like $1 million watch that he's playing with. It's like, get the watch in the shot. Okay, I paid a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But that's at the end. So I was always they've really danced around, especially with the I highly recommend you watch the Jeremy Corbell documentary on Skinwalker if you're going to watch the Skinwalker Ranch series, because after watching all that stuff, I have zeroed it. Like, it's pretty obvious now, but when they ended the documentary, they're like, it's too weird. They say, and these are scientists who were not believers in anything. They said it's too weird to pin down to one thing, and what we're dealing with is probably something way beyond our understanding, period, because we can't get it. It's playing with us. It's conscious. It can anticipate us, and it won't repeat anything, but it will constantly remind us that it's here, whatever it is. But they've zeroed in, and Robert Bigelow has never ever revealed like what they've come up with. We've heard it just a little bit in interviews here and there, but absolutely what they're zeroing in on is a portal. That's what it is. It is a portal of some kind.
Feels that
now,
way.
Is it aliens who put the portal there? Is there a ship underground? Or as
Different dimension.
Travis Taylor said, with the anomalies of the Mesa, that's the site of an old meteor impact. And meteor impacts can have long-lasting effects that are gravitational, right? So there's the gravitational anomaly in the Indian Ocean. There's one in Antarctica, and both of them are impact sites. And what that does is it fucks with the mantle. So there could be what I'm saying is there could be a scientific explanation.
A
natural explanation for a portal. They know portals exist because there is one between the Earth and the sun, and it's a portal for cosmic rays. So you got to.
So one a little bit closer onto Earth. There.
Wait, what is that?
So they
what is this portal
discovered.
You're saying?
So there is a. I'm going to explain this poorly because I've been kicked out of 3 high schools.
I want to find out more about what you just.
But there
told me.
is a portal between cosmic rays between the sun and the Earth, and it's got to do with magnetism. That and it opens up every. I can't remember if it was 8 minutes or 8 hours. And they are basically connected to each other, and it is a portal. That's what they call it.
Strange portal connects Earth and the sun. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
That's the one I got.
And I probably got half of it wrong, but that's what I remember.
Like giant cosmic chutes between Earth and sun, magnetic portals open up every 8 minutes or so to connect our planet to its host star. Once the portals open, loads of high energy particles can travel the 93 million miles through the conduit during its brief opening. What?
Instantly,
flux
almost.
Transfer
Yeah,
event,
crazy.
FTE.
Yeah. So portals exist in nature.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. That's fascinating.
And I think that's what they're focusing on. And having rewatched the last season of Skinwalker, which I judged way too harshly, by the way. Was fascinating towards the end. It was a slow burn, but like once
they need an abridged series. That's what they do that for anime, like an abridged anime where they cut all the filler episodes out. That's what they need for Skinwalker Ranch. Cut all the little stuff, and then we just get just the meat because
I've watched enough of it
stuff in there
where I can make an episode list of shit you can skip. Because they repeat so much information that
really
you can
do.
probably only watch half the episodes, but watch it all.
Yeah.
By the way, it comes back in June. We got that confirmed from Brandon Fugel. So
that's
we will
fun.
be covering it.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, late June's gonna be great. We got late May, we got Clarkson's Farm, and then we got Skinwalker Ranch and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, which I started watching, which is pretty fun too. Yeah. So, but they're focusing on portals, and they got some like, dude, that one they have that camera, that high res camera, and when they were in that little cone zone thing, that was fucking
Cone
nuts.
zone. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That
was weird. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's
cool.
like some stuff in there.
Yeah, that was
It's
good.
the whole
That was
99%.
cone zone. I know it sounds weird, but that's cool.
The 99% thing is like 99% of it is bunk, but there's that 1% that's like
plus everything we deal with is 99% bunk.
Right.
We're looking for that 1%. I would say like
bit.
in ancient civilizations, in alternate archaeology, there's more stuff. We just get more stuff that's cool. Bring up that meme.
True.
We need this Lego.
Oh yeah,
dude.
It's hilarious. You were talking about portals and stuff, and I read an article earlier about CERN.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Hadron Collider. So that is what, 27 kilometers. So that's huge.
Right.
They're making a 91 kilometer one. Yeah, it's starting in 2040. It's not going to be done until 2070.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about it. You're all
we'll be dead. We'll be dead.
Straight up, like they're planning. But hold on, what's the? Let me see. It is. I forgot. Where is it? 100 teleelectron volt collision energies.
Yes.
What did I miss? Oh, yeah.
Concerned, yes, for sure.
100%. Yeah, I don't trust this. Weren't they making like mini black holes?
They've made one
with 27 kilometer one. They're gonna make one
I
three
will
times as powerful.
I promise you I will find this clip by the end of the year of Art Bell interviewing Michio Kaku about CERN.
Yeah.
And he
is
pressing him. He is pressing him to go, are you sure you can't make a black hole? He's highly unlikely. He keeps on saying it's almost impossible, and Art's almost impossible.
Yeah,
highly unlikely. And he finally gets him to admit, yes, it's possible. There is a percentage to where we could get sucked through a black hole.
God.
Yeah, we could all instantly just be gone because of CERN. And now they're making one 3 times as big, more than 3 times, 91 kilometer collider.
Bro, humans are dumb because we'll just do stupid stuff like this out of pocket. We'll just be making stuff because we're just trying to figure it out, and we'll get sucked into a black hole. Maybe we did get sucked into a black hole. We just can't tell because we like instantly went to the other side.
Yep.
And now everything's different.
And we don't have any say either. That's the crazy thing. It's just like it's the European Organization for Nuclear Research,
and then they don't make stuff like this.
Yeah, I want this.
I would buy this. I would buy a Lego Göbekli Tepe this time with no olive trees.
Oh man.
Give me an
It really is just
that'd be awesome.
AI really is incredible. It's wild.
It's the best. By the way, my Shire should be arriving any day now.
Oh, fun.
Shire. Yeah. With Smeagol and Deagle. If you join the membership, you get the Smeagol and Deagle, and he like literally is strangling.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. It's so good.
That's pretty awesome.
It's so fucking cool. I'm a nerd. I don't care.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hail Jimmy. By the way, we had Jimmy and Michael Collins on last week.
Great
if you haven't seen that episode, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
And
go watch both of their videos. They both have really good videos on the Göbekli Tepe stuff going on right now.
Yep.
Michael's videos almost got 200,000 views on it. It's crazy.
That's right.
It's great. Yeah,
some good editing on that.
Yeah.
He needs a windsock for his microphone, but
yeah, we need some technical.
Great video though.
Yeah, he also needs a microphone. I'm going to talk to him about like.
Does he not even
narrating
have a mic?
him? Yeah, he's got to go into like a soundproof room. But
that's a good point.
You eventually learn that. Like, to up and coming content creators, microphone.
Audio.
Audio is everything. Don't worry about the fucking camera or anything like that. Just save up your money and get a good mic.
It's also needs to be said though that he's doing one of the most important things about content creation is the content.
Doing it.
He is getting out there and doing it, and like that is what makes him so fascinating because he's been to everywhere. It's
Oh,
been
yeah,
everywhere.
we've only seen like a very small percentage of where he's been.
What did he say? 40 terabytes
Yes.
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
video? He's got-
Yeah.
sitting on 40 terabytes of drone footage of like all the coolest places on the planet. It's like, dude,
I have
holy shit.
half a terabyte of video just from Peru
I
that I'm
can't wait
going
to
to put
see that
together
too.
someday. And that's not
Can't wait
counting
to see that.
Michael's or Garrett's.
I've
or
got
X-Ray Girls.
footage.
Yeah.
and-
Oh man. Jeez.
I'm going to put something together. I'm going to do it.
Holy shit.
Might cost me a couple of videos on the main
Do it.
channel,
Can't wait
but
to
I'm
see
going to
it.
do it.
Just pick at it over time. You know?
I will.
Once when Forbidden Frontier goes live, when the channel becomes Forbidden Frontier, that needs to be one of the debuts. It's got to be like, pow, check it out. We went to Peru.
July.
Oh, is that okay? So you have a
Yeah.
few months.
July.
All right.
I have to. We
Can't
have
wait.
to do a couple things
No, I
Okay.
know. I'm just saying when it
Yeah.
happens.
when it happens. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
that'll
gonna
be
awesome.
before the Picard review. Chat. I tell
Is there
you,
another season coming?
no. I
That's
just
a long. That's a long joke.
That's
Okay.
a long joke.
All right.
Um,
I missed it.
It's coming though. It'll be here eventually.
And I got a bunch of it done, and I need to find it. It's that's on a drive that's in storage in San Francisco, or on one of my old Macs. Because yes, I used to be gay and use Mac, and then I switched to PC. But yeah, that's out there. That'll probably be my very last video.
Your magnum opus,
Yeah,
the Picard review.
a Picard review. But let's here. I was going over it. We should do
Soups?
like a UFO. We should do soups.
No, you had some UFO stuff you were talking about. You wanted to bring
Yeah.
up. We didn't bring that up yet.
Yeah,
What did you mention?
we were
You
talking
mentioned
about
something.
the CIA. We were talking about the CIA, right? And this
Yeah.
we've shown this one before. This is Richard Dolan talking deathbed confession. We
Yes.
should do a UFO Twitter segment because it's so fucking entertaining.
We
For
should.
one, they rip each other all the time, which is great.
Love to see
Absolutely
it.
great. Oh, X-Ray Girl's on assignment.
Ah.
She's flying here,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then
To put the
she's
Shire
gonna-
We're
together?
gonna do a road trip, right?
No, that she's gonna go Thelma and Louise. Well, not the ending with my wife. They're gonna go road trip back up north because my wife's in town. So yeah, no content till Tuesday. So, as far as videos are concerned, because my wife's in town. But here we go. We got. Here, I'll full screen it. This is old video, but this speaking of since CIA was our subject today, right? Sure, it's all loud and proud for you guys. Ooh, you hear that? There we go.
150, 300 pounds.
Could they tell what the source of power was of this craft?
Yeah, it was like a reverse gravitational thing of some kind. Act one, later on, I got the mathematical code for reversing gravity in a 3x5 card. I guess there are different types of grays and so on.
How did you see that evidence?
Well, at the later on at S4, we viewed the autopsy film, and then the colonel said, "What we've got in here is we're interviewing a gray alien."
All right, right there. How did you feel at that moment?
Well, I thought, boy, we had no idea we were going to see the real thing. All we saw was film.
You had to have a little bit of heart racing
Yes.
at that moment.
My boss was able to go in and had a partial interview with him.
So what did this gray alien look like? Could you describe him a little bit?
This one looked a little bit oriental.
So I'm just wondering if
Racist.
X-Ray Girl.
No, it didn't look human as far as the skin tone. basically the shape of it and the size.
How was its head size compared with a normal human, for example?
Brain was kind of a little bit bigger, and some of the nose was very, very small, and the ears were just like holes. Mouth was very small.
Now, why were they bringing you out here at all, anyway, to see an alien? What was the point?
To go back and tell the president they actually had one.
So he did not know at this point
No.
if there was an alien
No,
at S4.
no.
What did you do then at Area? Were you done, or did you have other things to do?
Yeah,
at
so
S4?
basically we were kind of done.
So I can't remember what president it was. But that's old. This guy's 20 years old at this point.
And this guy had like cancer or something, like he was
Yep.
dying.
Yep, and he died shortly afterwards. So that's the only way we're gonna get. Well, that was Philip Corso kind of did the same thing too, and you saw the same tricks of them trying to discredit this guy and Philip Corso afterwards. But if you go look at Philip Corso's like military career, and he was part of helping to liberate parts of Italy. Philip Corso was back in World War II, like he's a war hero. It's what you see often with the CIA, which, back when I used to hear these things get debunked, I'm like, okay, well, one guy I believe, one guy I don't because they debunk it. But now I'm looking back on everything they've debunked before with brand new eyes over the last few years, going, okay, so maybe some of these guys weren't full of shit. Now, the Greys, I think the Greys exist. I think they're drones. Because it's very difficult for anything built like us or anything else biological to travel in space. So why wouldn't you just build 3D print a drone and send them out? Right. You wouldn't have to feed them. They don't have to shit, Well,
it's only a matter of time before we're able to make something that is a bio life form that we can just control. Well, like I'm sure it's within the next 100 years.
Easily. And the sign of advancement is not like a bigger ship. It's an efficient ship.
Right.
An efficient craft. And what Bob Lazar, basically, it's molded into one, and it's got one little engine that's about the size of a basketball.
Yeah.
And it's really light, but it's really strong. And that would be the sign of true advancement, would be efficiency. And something you can mass produce and just send all over the fucking universe.
Yeah. Just a shit ton of them everywhere.
Yep. So it's believable. Clones. Yes. Clones in a sense. I don't, maybe they run off of some sort. Well, they probably obviously run off of an individual AI. So maybe they have some individuality about them. Maybe they even have genuine people personalities, like from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't know. The GPP feature.
The only thing about that, the drone theory that you keep talking about, that makes me, I don't know, question it, is the theory of relativity, and like the faster you go, the closer you reach the speed of light, the time relatively, like they are only gone for like 10 years. Say they get here in 10 years, like their home planet advanced 1,000 years or whatever the relation is. So if we're that far away and they finally get here, like they're probably long dead.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
And that's where you can get
immortal
quantum entanglement portals, or they are able, just through quantum entanglement, they are able to communicate. They can't go back. And that's another thing. You 3D print something that can go to, that's pretty versatile, probably not every atmosphere, but pretty versatile to atmospheres. Doesn't need oxygen, doesn't need any of that stuff. And then somehow they can either just through telepathy or whatever, if we want to go really out there, can communicate back instantly.
Well, it doesn't have to be telepathy. It could be implants or some kind of communications like that. Like, we have proved that you can manipulate technology with our brain waves. So that's not too crazy out there.
Nope.
My thing is, like Adam's saying, like if you send it out, even if it was some kind of speed of light, it's still so far away that it could be like that civilization could be long gone, and they've just got a bunch of drones out there going to places,
Oh.
visiting planets.
You know, it could be that it is portals and it's going directly, like they could come themselves, but maybe the
Mhm.
radiation in space or the wormhole that they use is filled with radiation so that they couldn't go themselves, so then they send drones.
Yep.
So and with quantum entanglement, they're actually controlling it as if they're there. So it's like the next best thing. It's like VR, but you're,
Yeah.
you know,
Like a surrogate.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Surrogate. Perfect. He said, yeah.
All right, let's get to soups.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
It is. It is. And yeah, maybe I'll have some new info for you after in a couple weeks, because I don't think we're gonna have to take next week off. I'll be settled wherever the hell I am by then.
Yeah.
So, and then, but the following Sunday we won't be able to have a show because I'll be at in Sedona, unless I pull off a show in Sedona. Can't wait to go, because that's post Vegas meetup.
You can just bring Mike Barra on and me and Garrett can duke it out.
Well, if I can connect with Mike, if
Yeah.
he's out there. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
No, I really like enjoyed his company. I want to
Yeah.
stress. I can't stress that enough. I enjoyed his presentation. I just was being healthily skeptical. And I want to talk to him more now because I feel like more people are actually starting to talk about the fact that humans may have come from Mars. And it is a fun theory. I really do enjoy it.
I'll be in Mike's town pretty soon.
Cool.
So maybe that'll happen. You never know. Maybe next Sunday we can, you never know.
Knock that up.
That would be fun.
Quantum Sledge. Speaking of Quantum Sledgehammer has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Ruben, Christopher Haynes. What's up, Ruben? Who's been
Looking
a member
skinny,
for 11 months.
bro.
Jesus.
Look at you.
Look at that svelte.
My goodness.
Prayer request for my 8-year-old nephew, Gabriel Haynes, who has leukemia. Oh, prayers and good vibes.
Gotcha.
Thank you all for your support. Hail to the fellowship. Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer.
Yep.
Prayers to your nephew. Horrible. Bubba Doom for $5. Has there been any files on David Ferry or anything on Clay Shaw or Guy Bannister? Bat Boy lives. We should do a whole Bat Boy episode.
We should.
I don't know anything about it, but
we should have done it for April Fools.
It seems to be like my thing on the intro too,
Yes.
because it's like pow. Bad
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Bat Boy's from the Inquirer, right?
Gotta find
yeah.
out.
The Singing Tigs for $2 says, as Epic Mike says, it's all a goddamn conspiracy. Hail Epic Mike and his epic
Shout out
hair.
Epic Mike.
Quantum
Epic.
Sledgehammer for 20 says, according to William Shatner in his books about Star Trek memories, Gene Roddenberry tried more than once to sell Star Trek time travel movie where Spock was the grassy knoll shooter. In other words, aliens did it. I have never heard that one. I have heard a lot of Gene Roddenberry was good conceptually, but some of his stories were absolutely whack, including the original story for fucking Star Trek 2. Some of them were absolutely out there. I wouldn't be surprised. Remember, George H.W. Bush coined the term New World Order about a global government, not Hogan, Nash, or Hall. Yeah.
He did use the phrase.
That's true.
He did use the phrase.
And
I believe
did a whole
both-
song about it.
both Bushes did. At some point in their presidency,
I think so too.
both
I
of
think
them
you're right.
used that phrase.
But the original was the
Yeah.
It was the power.
Yep. And again, Ministry did a whole song about it. A New World Order. Dun-dun, dun-dun, a New World Order. I listen to that a lot in prison. Black Snake for $9.99. I've been seeing a lot of chatter online about Mossad being involved in the JFK assassination. This seems to be coming out of the left, in my opinion. But is there any viability to this, or is it nonsense? Okay, like as a casual okay, more than casual observer of the JFK assassination plot over the years, and I've probably forgotten most of it. I don't ever remember hearing Israel involved. I don't. Now, could that be because it was kept secret? Now, do I believe that Mossad has do I believe like Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad? Maybe I'm open to it.
I think
But-
there's some truth in it. I think that they could have been involved, but I don't think they were the masterminds plotting to make it happen. You know,
Yeah.
I think that they benefited, certainly, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no smoke in evidence in the
No,
report.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think the evidence is the CIA. I think the CIA.
100%.
I think
Yeah.
that's where the evidence points.
Me too.
Diego Salazar has been a member for 22 months. Says, yeah, but in Stone's JFK, wasn't the guy in Mexico a dude that looked completely different to Oswald? Also, was there any mention of David Ferry in the documents?
David Ferry.
I didn't see any. Not from any of the videos I watched.
There's a
That's
name
right.
that-
Yes, that's was an American pilot who was alleged by New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison. And then not the poet. Not the poet. But did you see any mention of it? I don't remember it, but maybe there was. Maybe there was.
I don't
Did-
recall.
Didn't
Mafia
read all the
pilot.
did not read all of the 80,000 pages. I apologize.
There's a book on him.
Guy for $5 Australian says Mossad carried out the JFK assassination because he opposed their nuclear weapon and wanted them to register as a foreign agent.
I forgot about that side of it too. Yeah, there was it was basically, I forget the name of the program, but it was APAC before it became APAC. And they were basically just a lobbyist from Israel that he wanted to force them to register as a foreign agent, and that didn't end up happening.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, you
it's
could chalk
AIPAC.
it up to one of the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, there's so
Israel
many
from hitting
different
nukes.
There's so many different.
countries that are
people
involved,
benefited.
and more.
They were happy he was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they benefit doesn't mean that they were the ones that orchestrated it. You know,
Right. Exactly.
and everybody's got such a hate
Well,
boner for Jews right now. It's like
It's so
so
true.
annoying. It's so annoying. There is that one line in the docs that was like, when Israel takes care of the president. Well, that was a weird line.
Yeah.
The other ones turned out to not be.
But it was
Yeah.
from some random guy. I don't remember who
Right,
it was.
yeah, it was like-
in
it was
Chicago.
somebody-
Like the night, it was like someone in, not the mafia, but like some.
Yeah, it was a guy
Yeah.
that returned and said like, "Oh, the Jews were." Yeah,
I forget
it wasn't
about
a
it.
direct
It's a lot.
CIA agent.
And
Right.
okay, I'm just going to muddy the waters even further. How do we know these documents were real? How do we know that they weren't
Yeah,
News-
that's the problem.
cause more
Mhm.
division? Because there seems to be a lot of effort to create more division so we can
Oh.
have not get rid of one war, but have two going on right now, which was really those flames were fanned by the previous administration. So yeah, it's
Mm.
hard to believe anything, and which makes it really tough. I understand that. It makes it really tough. But I am of the belief that our CIA are an evil entity that needs to be culled. And I've always believed that. So nothing has changed my mind on that at all. And I don't know if they can be. I don't know. I don't think so. Black Snake for $4.99 says, speaking of Razor Fist, any chance of having him on Forbidden Frontier to discuss the communist coup going on in South Korea right now? Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's oof. And they're right next to North Korea, dude. And they're right next to it. They see it, and it's just
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling.
It's a utopia that they sell to the youth. who want to live on Pleasure Island. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
clear to
Yeah.
me now that I'd like analyze how they do it. And it's like they
Oh,
just sell
No,
like, oh yeah, everyone will just live this wonderful utopian life, and then they starve to death.
there's youngsters who believe that when they get to communist utopia, they will be able to write their fanfic for a living.
At the coffee shop while they,
Yeah.
sip their lattes, their sunny lattes, and
Yeah.
Right.
And it's has a lot to do with life is hard and you have to work. And I'm
Yep.
watching I'm watching 1923 now. I'm trying to catch up because the finale was, well, it's technically out already. But and it just
Is that the Yellowstone?
yeah, it's the
sequel?
Yellowstone prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel. Okay.
And what it does show you is that life was really fucking hard about 100 years ago. It was really hard. You didn't. There's even a line in there. You didn't live. You survived. That
Yeah.
was most.
Oh yeah,
people.
on the frontier.
So
Hell yeah.
so
That was
Hard.
most of humanity.
South Korea, our country, most of, if not all of Europe, we are a very successful, affluent system with poverty in it. There's still poverty. Don't get me wrong, and there's still class disparity and there's still disparities between class and financial. But for the most part, we're a pretty rich country, and there hasn't been anything like that. So we have a lot of kids, a lot of youngsters out there, especially after living through COVID, who lack meaning, who need meaning. And the thing is, meaning isn't something that can be provided to you. You need to find it yourself. And if you
Facts.
don't,
Mhm.
it's going to create a lot of problems in your
Or
life.
someone will give it to
Yeah.
you.
Or somebody will give it to you. And your frustrations are my, okay, say when I was a younger, I'll use my I statements. I'll go recovery here. When I was frustrated with these things, I wanted to lash out at society and other people. And I didn't start feeling better until I started finding meaning in my life, which means adjusting your goals, understanding life isn't fucking fair, and being grateful for what you have. And it's a lot of individual personal issues that we can't work out as a society because society cannot fix you. Society is what we make it.
Boom.
Yep.
Y'all have it wrong. CIA is spelled G-A-Y. Logan Miller. Yeah, okay.
You're right. You're right.
You're right.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, Logan. Good first name there. JFK was a Martian. The driver had Slim Whitman's Indiana Love Call playing. Well, according to X-Men, he was a mutant. He was a mutant. Listen, we all know the smoking man killed JFK and Martin Luther King.
It was
But
documented.
he felt bad about the Martin Luther King one.
But
he
not
did.
JFK.
Not JFK. No, he was listening in. He was smoking his Morley. He was listening into Martin Luther King, and he started getting into some Maoist talk.
It's like,
And he's all, oh, why'd you do that? Dang it. Now I got to take you out. Has any of you listened to the recording of Howard Hunt explaining the whole plan? G. Gordon Liddy said he was afraid of Hunt. Liddy wasn't a chump. No, and I have heard that. I don't know. Again, like I question if anything's real, but I have heard it. Yes. And but Bubba Doom, you're not wrong. That goes into what Tucker Carlson was talking about, which led to Nixon's ouster. I think it was more than this personally, but Tucker Carlson theorized that Nixon was basically taken out because he knew what happened to Kennedy. Nixon was a very popular president, by the way, an insanely popular president. I think he was just taken out by the left. I think he was because he was popular. He was going to go against the grain a little bit because of his popularity. And I truly believe that the CIA, the president's popularity generally hovers around half. And I think they like it that way.
Yeah.
And, Reagan, insanely popular president, and like the 80s were fun, but we were also in this massive Cold War, that he eventually helped end. And that created a lot of problems for the military industrial complex. So that's why they really were building up the whole terrorism thing throughout the 70s and 80s. You know, prior to Reagan getting in office, they're really building up terrorists who largely we were creating.
Yeah, which we trained and
yeah,
it's great.
The 80s were fun. WG for Finny. Red John Stockwell's In Search of Enemies, a CIA story. Stockwell was an operations officer in the 70s and 80s and chronicles the corruption of senior intelligence officers and the agency. His experience ranged from Vietnam to the war in Angola. And WG knows a lot about this shit. WG's no dummy, folks. I mean, I don't know why he listens to us. I can say that about all of you because you're all smarter than we are. But we appreciate it. That's all I want to say. Hail WG. Hey you for $5 says you're right that they're not all working together, but one being still pulls the strings, and that's Satan. He's the master of lies and manipulation. Well, I certainly believe in evil. I am not one of those people who says evil doesn't exist. It's just shades of gray. And evil is made. And you know what? A lot of times it is. But it's still evil. So that means it must exist. If it's made, I think it's just connected to something. It's brought into fruition. It's something that's there. I've also met some people who are just fucking born bad.
Just evil.
Just fucking bad.
Hey, you got it. That's what I think it is. It's that ultimate evil that's kind of on everybody's shoulders, trying to push you in that direction. That's what's flowing in that direction.
Yes. I mean, we can acknowledge there's good.
Yeah.
Right.
We were talking about this before the show with lizard people, and I was saying, I think, when the people say the lizard people and they make the jokes about lizards under the human skin and everything, I thought like there literally are lizard people. Like they are inhuman, no empathy psychopaths. They exist, and they're not just serial killers. They're bankers, they're politicians, they're people in Hollywood. Like they're everywhere. They just mask their
crazy. Terrence Howard was just on the PBD podcast.
Yeah.
Making a great point. Like forget his like crazy math, whatever. Math isn't real or whatever. When he's talking about Hollywood, he's fucking spot on. And what he said was, and David Chappelle's talked about this too, is the culture of Hollywood is you get there, you have to suck some guy's fucking dick to get a job or get your ass pounded, and women have to go through the same thing. And you end up selling your soul basically, and it automatically fucks you up. Now, apply that to kids, by the way, and the parents who take their kids to Hollywood, and why so many Hollywood kids are completely fucked up. If they're not wasted on fucking drugs, they're psychological messes, right? In a lot, very few, like most healthy kids that get out of Hollywood, either they had a really good parent, like wouldn't let their fucking kid around anything that protected them, or they left.
Yeah.
Or they left. But he's talking about like you lose your man card, basically, going to a Diddy party and you lose your man card, and it affects you psychologically for the rest of your life, unless you get
Bieber.
And unless you get help and heal, which they don't because they stay in that sick system, it eats you alive. And he's 100% right about that. 100% right. So they'll say Terrence Howard is like a lot of his stuff is out there, but when he's talking about this, he's spot on, fucking spot on. And that's just from anecdotal stories I've heard. It's a nasty place. And then apply that to our government, which is 1,000 times worse. If the government can fund,
I just hold on. I just want to say, his whole math thing about 1 × 1. When he's talking to Eric Weinstein on that, like when they had their whole thing with Joe Rogan, which was a fantastic,
it really was
very, very long conversation that they had. Eric Weinstein even said to him, he's like, "You're not being literal, right?" And he said, "No, it's a thought experiment, and it's like you need to." And he made it clear. It's like you need to like make that more clear when you're talking about it.
Yeah, there's a nuance to
people think you're crazy. when you
Yeah.
say shit like that, and it's true. You sound crazy when you say 1 × 1 is 2, and it's like, no, it's not. But he's trying to provoke like a different reasoning of thinking, but he knows that it's 1
But
in
he's also
like math terms. It's just like
He doesn't articulate it correctly.
right,
he
right.
doesn't.
Which
I
makes
think
him
he's
look
like
crazy.
maybe he's on to something, but he doesn't know all the pieces. Right? He
Right.
doesn't know all the pieces to the puzzle. Right? So you need to provide that context, and there's nuance. He's like, like you said, say you're doing a thought experiment, but maybe lead with that.
Preface.
Right. Yes. You got to lead with that.
Yeah.
Question reality. Exactly, chat.
And I think the guy's highly entertaining to listen to, like highly entertaining, but he's dead on about that. If the government, listen, it also, before we get to this next super chat, when you look behind the curtain and you see the insanity of our world, it can fuck with you. And he probably saw a lot of shit that we haven't in Hollywood. And it can absolutely eat you alive. Right. For sure. Unless you get a lot of help and have good friends. And a good family and a good support group. Southeastern Kaiju for $2 is absolutely right. If they can fund ISIS, they can fund Antifa. Well, they do. The government funds Antifa. The government, the Antifa is not that
100%.
coordinated. Antifa cannot be that coordinated and not be in jail. They can't. Okay, let's throw it to the other side, guys. If who are those feds? The Patriot, whatever.
Patriot Front?
Patriot
or whatever.
Front.
Yeah. 100% feds.
100% feds. If they were out there,
100%.
okay, say a coordinated uber right wing wants to bring back the Fourth Reich group out there, was causing all this trouble. You don't think every single fucking one of them would be in federal fucking prison right now? Of course they would. And let's just apply it to Antifa. Let's say that there was as many of them out there causing this much trouble, burning down cities, burning Teslas, doing it. Every fucking one of them would be in federal prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And they should be for what they did. And so should the other people for burning innocent people's, like white people going into Minnesota and burning black businesses in the name of BLM. That's what was fucking happening. Yes, there were some black people there too, but there was a lot of fucking white people. A lot of white people in Portland burning down federal buildings and shit. They were able to attack a federal building for weeks.
Months. That courthouse, they went on for like 7 months.
Seattle, they took over the whole precinct. The whole area.
The police precinct, right? That's right. I forgot
Protect
about that.
and Serve ran.
Yeah.
They were ordered to run and they ran. And then the fucking gay ass mayor,
when he had to did his shame.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. Oh my goodness.
We had to walk all the way through the crowd. Man, that was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Josh Kelsey has dropped $20 and walks away because that's what he does. Josh. Logan Miller for $9.99. Alex Soros is an ultra rich man with a woman's mind. Yes. And that I don't.
Dude is an idiot. He's controlled by the Clintons. Let's be real.
Well, Alex Soros, the good news is he's a fucking retard and not as like his dad. Very evil, very smart.
But Alex Soros married the freaking Pit Vipers, like right-hand man, like Hillary Clinton's former aide. I think that's what her position was. Anyway, they're all together.
Whole fucking club evil. Rook Takes Rook for $9.99. Read State of Fear by Michael Crichton. It's very appropriate. There's also a great essay before the book by him. It's about media lies and why people believe them. I will have to read that.
Sounds good.
Look up Crowds on Demand. They have a website you can pay for protesters and actors for an event. It's run by Adam Swart, and it's an example of many. Hey, you, and like, we live in a free society, innocent until proven guilty. But if you're going out there and destroying private property, that's what cops are supposed to be for. Okay.
Wow. This is a real thing. Crowds on Demand. Is this a joke? This is a joke, right?
PR stunts, crowds
Yeah,
for high
like
corporate events.
capitalism, like, yeah, okay. But like
Oh,
Gary said,
no.
if you start destroying shit,
You
then
crossed
you
the
should be
line.
arrested. Like that's illegal.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, you
Interesting.
mean when Disney has a bunch of people in costume on a red carpet, they are hired.
Right.
Yeah. When they all show up for Ant-Man and the Wasp
Okay.
Quantum Mania.
When I say hired, they are not given money. They get to go see the movie, and they are happy to do it.
Right.
I mean, they could pay them, but they don't need to pay them. That's the same thing with shills. They could pay them, but they don't need to.
Yep.
I mean, just look at Paola. All
Yep.
the olds in our
On the radio.
chat
On the radio.
will know what Paola was, you know. And we didn't even get in the CIA starting the hippie movement. We could have.
Yeah, we didn't do with like
MK
Grateful
Ultra.
Dead and MK Ultra and all the psychedelics they were
Acid.
putting out, or all the drugs they were putting in the inner
Right.
cities and that stuff, or
Correct.
you know, didn't even get into any of that.
True. Or the opium fields that
Bro.
we watered with our tax money,
So
by the way.
you can get like being in possession of LSD back in the day. I don't know what it is now, but back in the day, you were doing fucking time. Like that was a serious crime. Not like having a bag of weed. All right. You go to a fucking Dead show. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to have gone to a Dead show. So I went to I went to 11 Dead shows. I never went inside. Don't like the fucking band. Hate their fucking music.
You're not going for the music, was
one
what
or
you're
two
saying?
songs. I think one or two songs are fine. You know, Casey Jones and Touch of Grey. Those are fine songs. They're hits. But like listening to them jam for 11 hours is like, oh fuck no.
You have to be on LSD.
No, you even then though, like instrumentally, they're, you know, I'd rather listen to if Rush jammed for 11 hours, I'm there. I'd fucking listen to it for sure. But or some prog rock band, but not fucking Grateful Dead.
Or like Bon Jovi, totally be down,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, I'd rather listen to Grateful Dead, to be honest with you. So I went to 11 shows and like they were passing out fucking acid like candy. It was $5 a hit. $5 a hit, and like pound for pound, like economically speaking, like that's an 8-hour high for $5.
That's a deal.
That's a deal. It's a deal. Mr. Blue Sky for $4.99. Mr. Blue Sky ELO. I'd listen to fucking ELO for 11 hours. Fuck yeah. Happy Sunday, y'all. Funny you mentioned the French First Lady. Do you think the other rumor about him are true? What's the other rumor? What could possibly be?
That he groomed Macron when Macron was a juvenile?
Oh
Is that what you're
yeah.
talking
Yes.
about?
Yes.
I think that's probably true.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's the other rumor.
I thought that wasn't a rumor. I thought that was fact.
I think it is a fact also. But
Yeah, thank
I don't
God
know.
this episode's on Rumble. BJ315 for $10. A big issue in the motorcycle industry is assembled in America. A lot of Harleys, for example, are built in other countries, but they put the front wheel on in Wisconsin, thus assembled in USA. Yes,
Well,
wow.
that's true. That is true.
Just put the front wheel on. It's lame.
I like
But if it avoids a
technically.
tariff, it avoids a tariff. A lot of stuff does. Remember when Walmart made a big deal out of Made in America? Now they are owned by China. R.I.P. Sam Walton. Yeah, that's terrible.
Go to HEB if you can. You're in God's country.
Yeah, I go to Costco and HEB.
I miss Costco.
Costco's pretty cool. They're fucking great hot dogs, dude. Those hot dogs are legendary. They're cheap.
And their pizza's pretty good too.
Yeah. The Padres finally beat the Cubs. I know. But we also beat you in the 1984 in the NLCS.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But every Cub fan from that day remembers Steve Garvey. Yes, they do.
Well,
Yes,
not
you
me. I'm
fucking
a
do.
Cub. I'm a Cub fan.
You fucking remember because we broke your heart. It was when Ghostbusters came out, so we all had shirts on that said Cub Busters and had a little circle slash through the Cubs.
It's kind of
There was
fun.
a Cub Buster song. Yeah.
kinda
Dr. Daysuk for 169 Danish krona. Greenland doesn't want to be a part of the U.S. They want independence. Greenland and Denmark are already on that, but have been for years. But they are not as pro-U.S. as Trump administration make it sound like. Okay, Hey,
It
you would
sounded
know.
like when they were doing interviews when they were there, Trump Jr. went and he was just like talking to people and they all were like, "Yeah, America, let's do this." So I was going on just it's small, of course they could pick and choose who they show.
Yeah,
There might have been other people that are like, well, fucking that,
if
I
they
don't want-
choose independence, then that is what they choose, and then they can
Yeah.
sell
good
us
for
the
them.
mineral rights. That's fine.
Yeah.
Gollum's half botched circumcision leftover for 25,000 Martian pesos. About your comments about the Vikings in South America the other time. Oh yeah, God, we got to go over that video.
Yeah.
Have you checked the seven sons of Tau and Karena? Compare timelines and how they look. I will because it's It's a fascinating video, and it is. God, what was the channel again, guys? Legendary History.
I think it's in research, isn't it?
Yeah, we put it somewhere in here.
Yeah. Go watch it because he will be at Cosmic Summit. Oh, Cosmic Summit. Oh shit! I didn't do the ad read.
Is it too late?
Does it still count?
No, it won't count. I'll have to do a double tomorrow. I'll do a double.
Okay. Just double.
Sorry.
X-ray girl.
And she told me, and I acknowledged her too. She's gonna be so pissed.
Oh,
Gonna be so mad. She did all that work, and I fucking forgot. It was 1775 coffee. So we'll that. B Chain 315 for $5. You think that's cool? Come to New England. I have family graves in my hometown from the 1650s. Well, I mean, Adam's in a place where there's graveyards from before
13.
Christ.
yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's true. Probably. I haven't found them yet, or maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did.
You think that's okay? And the markets are collapsing as we speak. Have they opened up yet? Maybe the European markets.
No, it's like 2:30 in the morning here.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't doing great over the last week, but I don't have a lot tied up in the stock market, so.
Yeah, me neither. So
Same.
I got a little bit, but I haven't noticed a hit yet. But I mean, like when it jumps up, I don't really notice a big gain either because I just don't like the stock market. I like tangible stuff. I like property.
yeah, assets.
Stuff I can touch. Gold.
My house.
I love gold. My house. Yes. My house.
Mm-hmm.
Spent years and years and years and years and years building up to have something like this. So, I mean, fuck property tax, but too much about that. Trish Page, what's up, Trish? For $9.99, hail, Forbidden Frontier, planned obsolescence, such as wonderful conversation. Thank you. Such a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trish.
We saw Trish in
Yeah.
Peru and at the meetups. TJ, a member for 15 months. What if high tension power lines were actually absorbing all of the electricity from the atmosphere free and the power plants take it in, not out? I wonder.
Or supplement it, right?
Probably supplement. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting theory, though.
Yeah.
Basil 578 for $5. Knowing ahead of time that JFK and RFK's lives were in danger and doing nothing, the American intelligence community is guilty. Never trust the feds. Agreed.
Never trust.
Nominus Rex for $15. Have you guys read the Lacarta files of the reptilian chick doing the interview with some dude in early 2000s? I recall it, yes. And actually, Art Bell did an episode on it. The channel Area 52 does a full read through it, and it's very interesting.
Cool.
I will find it.
I have not.
Area
no.
52.
Yeah.
Reminder, Jeremy is a homosexual man. We all know that. Trish Page has donated another $4.99. Thank you, Trish. And one more time. I just wonder why I can't watch Carl Sagan's Cosmos anywhere. I can't buy it anywhere. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Carl Sagan changed my white trailer park trash life. You know,
Awesome.
I don't. The Cosmos isn't available like on DVD.
Like on eBay
It's
or something.
probably
maybe?
on eBay. You'd have to
Yeah.
buy it on DVD, but yeah, I don't think it's streaming anywhere. They made that replacement Cosmos with freaking
with a
what's his-
freaking douchebag.
what's that guy's name? I forgot his friggin' name.
Douchebag. Yeah, let's just go with douchebag.
Pluto's not a planet guy.
Neil
Yeah, that
deGrasse
guy.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Fake scientist.
So you can't find the original.
Gary Nolan
He's
fucking hates that
he's
dude.
so arrogant, man.
Yeah.
I can't stand the vibe. You know what was the? You know who's cool? What's his name? Brian Cox? No, Brian something.
British guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah. He is good. He's not a dick.
No, it's not it. What is that, chat? Do you know who I'm talking about? Is it? It is Brian Cox.
Is it Brian
yeah.
Cox?
Yeah.
That's
He's
what the
freaking
chat's
awesome.
saying.
There's good videos of him on YouTube. Very good.
Yeah.
Adam, take
Brian
a metal
Cox is
detector.
Oh yeah. This guy, he's great. Yeah.
Basil 578 for $5. Adam, take a metal detector and scan it, but don't mess with the grave. The Swedes probably know of the location. Scandinavians are never lost in their woods. Oh,
that's a really good point. That's a good point.
Vapor trails for $19.99. I don't rule out anything, but the actual conspiracy that looks likely is mafia and communists working together. Oswald was a communist, but the mafia wasn't, for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I could see the mafia wanting to take him out. God, I don't want to rule anything out either, but mafia, they liked America. They loved the free trade. They weren't like pro-communist, and they actually worked against them during World War II. Ruby was a mob connected. They whacked him so he couldn't talk. Patsy is a mob slang. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Ruby was mob. It was definitely mob. But then again, the mob is infiltrated by the CIA as well.
I'm sure.
This is true.
I mean, who helped bring a bunch of cocaine into America in the 80s? It was the CIA.
Yep.
As Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction once said in the 1% song, the gang and the government are no different.
Yep.
Anyone see Project Unity interview with the Italian guy who produced a pyramid scans? 90% accuracy claimed. Very compelling. I haven't, but I will. We're not done with that. Back to that. Marcus Young is right. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater on that one.
Well, I went after last week's episode. I went and watched Metatron's video, and he actually did another video about someone tried to debunk him. So then he watched it and then debunked that. So he's fluent in Italian, right? And he breaks it all down, and it is very woo woo, man. Like they go way farther than it. So hearing that, I'm like, what is those? I know that Project Unity 100%. He's the one who blew it up. He was on Alex Jones and was doing the rounds, and it's he's loving the fame that he's getting from this. And I don't know if he believes it or if he's grifting. Maybe he believes it 100%. I'd like to lean in that direction because I follow him. I do like him. I think he's a cool.
Well, that's the
creator.
line you have to ride is
right.
Authenticity. You need to make money doing this channel and doing the research. I don't want to begrudge anybody making some money.
Exactly.
And being able to live. That's I have no problem with that. It's just it's on the creator to be as honest as possible, and the audience will sense that. There are some people who are very good at bullshitting, okay, and you can't do anything about that. But for the most part, I think you guys are pretty good at figuring out authenticity. Anything having to do with the deep state has to be divided into pre and post Obama. Everything changed when he got power. He turned it all against Republicans. Paper trails for $9.99.
I disagree.
I disagree as well. Yeah, I think it's all still pretty cohesive.
Obama carried on a lot of shit from Bush. Surprising. Well, it would surprise a lot of people. And Clinton was a fucking Republican, dude.
Yeah.
aside from a couple of things, Clinton operated like a Republican. That's why he was
Arkansas.
popular. And well, so popular that he never won an election with the popular vote because of Ross Perot. But who I liked, by the way. That's who I voted for was Ross Perot. But
I just remember him having giant ears. I was a kid at that time.
not that my vote counted, but whatever. I voted all the time, even though I wasn't supposed to, because it was illegal. I think it's fine for me now. It is fine for me now. But
Is it like a statute of limitations thing? What was it like? Why is it fine
certain
now?
states have just given up on it. Like certain states are like, you can vote. Fine. Nobody stopped me. And I registered, so nobody stopped me. Okay, here we go. I would cream my pants to listen to all 11-hour Rush. I would cream my pants to listen to an 11-hour Rush jam. R.I.P. in the apert. I miss the band so effing much. Have you read Getty's memoir, Gary? I have not, but I will. I love Rush, dude. Love that band. One of the best things Canada's ever given us is that
Hell
band.
yeah.
Fucking magnificent band. Vapor Trails for $1.99 says LSD was a lab leak. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Leak.
Luke Caverns calls bullshit on the structures under the pyramids. We did too, but I think there's something under there. I just don't think they're power coils.
Yeah, like I don't think they're the 8
3D writing.
perfectly thing with like the spiral staircase around it. It's not that. I think there might be some kind of cavity that down there.
It could be.
It could be.
But
I think it's
first.
Yeah. Let's
Prove it. You're gonna have to prove it.
Check the episodes of Redacted podcast about MK Ultra. Dr. Jolly West was involved in MK Ultra and visited Jack Ruby in jail. Holy shit. Coffee fan for $5. We will.
Cool.
Amazing. All right. Gonna wrap it up for tonight. That was a fun conversation. I had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
And we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll get Metatron on soon.
I would love to have him on and talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Metatron's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
We had him on FNT. So what do you got coming up, Garrett?
We're gonna make some videos this week. We're prepping for Vegas, man, because it's right around the corner.
Oh shit.
So gotta make some content for the channel. We're gonna be doing that. And then, normal world, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I have a channel, my own channel, Quarter Black Garrett, where I stream every Sunday. Come check it out. Go subscribe. YouTube doesn't like me. It keeps unsubscribing people. What it is.
Yeah.
Dude, I've lost like so many subscribers. I don't know.
I don't even. Yeah.
Oh, and it,
Right.
not even talking about it. Adam's level. He's got a way crazier level.
800 a month,
Adam.
4.5 years straight. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little more bot scrubbing. I mean, because most of it's bot scrubbing. That's like, they've gotten like, they are really trying to scrub bots from Twitter.
Dude,
like it is.
You got it too? Yeah,
everybody did. Everybody.
Yeah, I lost 1,000 in the past 4 days.
Yeah, they're scrubbing lots of bots.
But it's stopped.
Good.
Good.
So
it's good.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
Gotta be real. Like I don't give.
Yeah, I'd rather have real people follow me.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what do you got coming up, Adam?
Well, my show. I got Bass F Monday every Monday night. It's a lot of fun, and then I do a daily show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday night, I jam out, play some music. I've been writing a lot of new stuff. I got a new song that I actually debuted on this channel. I'm sorry if it was a little awkward. I just it felt so
fun.
right.
It's
yeah,
cool.
and I just finally made my own knife. I just finished this earlier today. I'm very excited about it.
That's awesome.
It's not the best, but it's my very first one, and I learned a lot in the process of knife making. And
Bro, if that's your first one, that's crazy.
It's my first blade that I have created myself, and yeah, very excited to start making videos about that, and looking forward to it. So check it out, the Crigler Show. Appreciate it.
Excellent. As far as the schedule is for us next week, it's going to be a little off because I have to travel. So Nooner and Square Up tomorrow, probably a little earlier. like an hour earlier here on Nerdrotic.
Don't forget
Live.
the ad read.
I have to do 2 ad reads tomorrow. And I will not be on Real BBC Tuesday because I will be traveling and there will be no nooner. But you will get more videos. We're going to be doing more videos. We're going to be reviewing G20 comes out this week. The Michael Obama movie. Yeah.
Finally. Blockbuster. It's going to save Hollywood.
I'm going to dip into Doctor Who because for laughs. That premieres on the 12th. We have another video coming out before then, probably Tuesday, hopefully Tuesday. If I get off my ass. My wife's back in town, dude.
Hey, man. It's understandable. I get it.
I didn't see my wife for 2 months. So we're hanging out. She came to get the dogs, and I guess Steph is gonna come over and build the fucking house from Twilight, and she needs to do it here for some reason.
Oh god. She's gonna do it behind you, isn't she?
She's gonna I'm finding Edward stickers and shit all over my fucking room. I shouldn't let this woman in my house like at all. Ever.
Disgusting.
Ever.
That's funny.
But she offered to build Baradua for me. So
Nice.
Cool.
yeah. And then I get the Shire next. But yeah, probably an unusual amount of videos this week, just because there's a lot of stuff to review. There's a lot of little things to talk about. Shad is not coming over to my house, not until he takes back his Studio Ghibli fucking take.
Crazy.
I'm not even the biggest fan of it. Like, I don't know much about Studio Ghibli. I've watched one. It's the animation's amazing.
The animation techniques are amazing.
It's
a crazy take.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So like, but I love. Shad will have a shit take every 3 or 4 months. That's the way it is.
Yeah,
that's generous.
Yeah.
Am I being?
I love
generous?
Shad. I love Shad.
I truly, Shad is a good human being.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. So yeah,
writer,
yeah.
His book's right there. It's a great book. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, he called Studio Ghibli art bland, and I'm being nice. I'm just like, what? So what'd you think of Akira? Oh, Akira was bland.
What?
No, he
didn't. He didn't say that about Akira.
I haven't asked him about Akira yet.
Oh, okay.
Akira's the shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Akira's amazing.
Shit.
Oh shit, bro.
And then if you go into the
Akira.
Yeah,
the
Danica's
second
doing
anime I've ever watched.
God, the craftsmanship that
so
went into
good.
that is insane.
Crazy.
So good. So
Absolutely
good.
insane. Yeah, and then we'll be in Vegas next week for the meetup. Can't wait for that.
Epic.
Yeah, you're gonna get some special shows, and big shout out to the Salty Nerd Podcast for allowing us to use their studio. I really appreciate that. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Plus, I just like going to Vegas. And I will be officiating a wedding.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell
Never
yeah.
done that before.
Oh, is that sheep and
Yep.
Sheep City
And I want to use their
Aromas.
internet names. I'm going to refuse to use their real names. I'm going to use their internet names.
And what are they again?
Do you horror Amarada take Sheep City as your husband?
It's gonna be so good.
Especially if I call her horror Amarada during her wedding.
Oh my gosh.
and
You have to now for the memes.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna video it. So, and they can do whatever they want.
She said she's gonna live stream it.
Live stream
Yeah,
it. Nice.
That's fucking awesome. No, those are two good people who've supported the channel, and I love them to death.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
They're really awesome, and I can't wait to hang out with them. So we're gonna have a good time. See you at the meetup if you can make it. Yeah, and there'll be other stuff to talk about afterwards. But until next time, thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who supports this little endeavor we're doing. I fucking love this show so much, and I'm gonna do it forever. Like croak.
Forever.
Like effing croak. Forever. Thanks for the lurkers and
kicked in. It kicked in.
Right.
I need to get me one of these voice changers.
Oh, you don't have one? You don't have one?
No.
Oh my God, Garrett. You should get.
I just have to do it my own way.
Yeah. Jesus.
I only have one voice on my board,
That's it.
so
It's one more than I do.
I've got large robot, and then
small robot,
and
Megaphone, which I don't know.
Is that on your Rodecaster?
Yeah, it's on the newer Rodecaster.
not the.
I
Old
got to get on the Stream Deck. I think you can get on the Stream Deck.
Yeah, you can. You can. You
Yeah.
can put voices.
this is my robot sound.
That's a pretty good one.
Is it a good robot?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a T-Pain.
I don't know what this is. Oh, it's
That's
the same
Demon.
as Monster.
That's,
this has got some music. What?
Let's
Oh
go.
shit! Breaking it down. Okay, sorry.
It's all about the bass.
So we'll be back next week with something. X-Ray Girl will probably be around too. So
yeah.
Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everybody. Catch you next time.
See ya.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.